Celebrini, Reinhardt, and Montembeau. So get yours while they last. 1 stick per meal purchase. Limited time at participating Canadian restaurants.
At Fountain Tire, success is a team effort. They're committed to their team members and their customers. And that means treating your vehicle like it's their own and finding solutions that suit your needs. Because whatever the road brings ahead, they're on it with you. Visit fountaintire.com today.
Does your bank do local?
William Hedlund! Wow! William!
Through charitable donations, volunteerism, local teams,
Alexander.
shares to our members every year. Does your bank do that? We do local. Bank with vision.
Gildas Alexander.
Take over your
Consecutive games, scoring at least 20 points.
when people come to see
127 consecutive games, scoring at least 20 points.
minutes away. I'm Parveen Middleton, licensed trustee at BDO.
Flyers.
We'll create
Not anticipating.
so you can move forward with confidence. Call 1-833-BDO-TALK or visit bdodebt.ca to discover your debt-free future.
What's some non-Nissan?
One-man bat.
Northwest today, looking like a horror movie.
What Nissan drivers here?
It's a glorious day out there.
Get a Nissan Kicks S all-wheel drive for $398 monthly at 2.9% with $0 down. Built, tested, and trusted to conquer Canada's harsh winters. Visit Nissan.ca for details. 60 months, conditions apply.
Visit your local Edmonton and area Nissan dealer for more information.
Jason Gregor Show.
Holy shot! Edmonton has life.
On Sports 1440.
Gildas Alexander. Crowd anticipating. Flyers. Incredible streak puts SGA into the record books. 127 consecutive games, scoring at least 20 points.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
But driving the nail, he's gone! What? An unbelievable goal by William Hedlund! Wow!
Well, a fantastic, positive Friday. How are you? And welcome to the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching the show. Of course, it is a positive Friday. Oilers fans might need some positive mojo to think about because last night, you know what was positive? They were positively atrocious. The entire game, really. Offense, defense, goaltending, everything. It was not good. The only thing that was good was they, at least when they felt that someone was trying to take advantage of their teammate, they stood up and pushed back. That was really about it. There wasn't a whole bunch. Dickinson did score his first goals in order. Evan Bouchard sets a career high with his 19th goal. He is 1 goal shy, becoming the 4th Edmonton Oilers defenseman to score 20 goals in the season. Paul Coffey, of course, did it 5 times in a row from 82 to 86. And he had 29, 29, 37, 40, and 48. Pretty sure those numbers are safe. Bouchard might get to 31, so I wouldn't be surprised by that. But Charlie Huddy had 20 goals back in 1982. And the only guy to do it since 1986 for the Oilers, Sheldon Surrey, fired home 23 goals in 2009. So Bouchard can become only the second guy in the last 40 years to score 20 goals in the Oilers' blue line. It's pretty impressive. And I think he's got a shot to beat Surrey 23 and then move into second place as Coffey holds well, I guess technically it'd be 6th place, right? Because Coffey has the top 5. But good season for Bouchard. continues to be on pace for a 90-point campaign, which is pretty special. And the Oilers, they're kind of wasting it because they're defensively, God, they're bad right now. Oh, goaltending, defense, man, they weren't ready to play last night. Give up a goal in the first minute and a half of the game, and you're chasing the game. It's 3-0, 15 minutes in. It's 5-0, 26 minutes into the game, and it's good night, Irene. Good thing for Oiler fans. If you wanted to, you could shut it off and be like, okay, I'm going to go do something else just because. But I know most of you didn't turn it off because you're a diehard. Good for you. Stuck with it. And you thought, hey, maybe. And really, when it was 5-2 and the Oilers had that late power play in the second period, you're thinking maybe, but it was not meant to be. Gregor Show is always brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca tonight. $30 million up for grabs. Lotto Max. Get your tickets at PlayAlberta.ca. And while you're there, if you like, you can check out the Jason Gregor Show, as we always have some daily specials. We actually got 4 for you today. Some with the Oilers, others just looking at the out-of-town scoreboard. You like the New York Islanders tonight at home against the LA Kings? Yeah, so we got some games. It is Hockey Day in Germany, so of course we have a Leon Draisaitl odds boosted prediction, so you can check that out at playalberta.ca. Coming up on the program today, we will Speck's going to join us. We got Andy Strickland from St. Louis. The Blues are on fire right now. The Blues probably think, hey, we got a shot here. We're only 6 points out. The Blues are 6-1-1 since the Olympic break. They've allowed the fewest goals in the NHL at 1.75 goals against per game. So we'll talk to Strickland about that. We got Craig Button from TSN. We'll get Cam Tate in the 2-minute warning. We got Livingston, a little racing report, week 2 in F1. So we'll talk about week 1, how that looked. Man, Mercedes looks really good. Are they going to run away from everybody? We'll see. Cadillac first weekend, kind of what you expect as an expansion team in F1. It's not much different than expansion team, excluding Vegas, in pro sports. It usually takes a while to get good. We'll hear from, get to some order stuff. We'll also get to our stats of the day and much, much more. Of course, Connor Halley will be updating us throughout the afternoon. The Players Championship. What did I say yesterday, Cons? About Xander Schauffele. There you go. That guy is always lurking around in the first few days, and then we'll see if he can finish it. But he's at 10 under with Aberg, and then Canadian Corey Connor currently sitting at 5 under par today. So he's in the clubhouse at 8 under. But Schauffele and Ludwig Aberg are both on fire right now. Well, Aberg, he's 7 under through 9 today. Holy cow. Guy's ripping it up. So we'll see. Will he get to the top? Who knows? Sepp Strack also at 7 under. And then some other names that you know, Justin Thomas, of course, 5 under, or as Connor Halley likes to say, -5. Jason Day, Justin Rose, 4 under.
Is that wrong?
Well, that's a hockey term. Usually you say -2 in hockey.
I think I've been doing it in my updates for 15 years.
In golf.
In golf, yeah.
For 50, what?
I was taken aback when I said it, and I got some pushback from it.
Really? So you've been saying it lots?
I thought I had.
Oh, geez, I don't know. Well, don't go roll the tape.
I guess we can go back and look.
Go back, roll the tape. So I was chuckling when I heard that earlier today. So
just when you're out there with your buddies golfing and you're 2 under, say -2 on the front 9. I think they'll like it.
I'd have to be -2 on the front 9. Like, what are we talking about? Are we playing mini golf? Like, maybe I don't think I've ever. Well, I know for a fact I've never been I was +1 through 9 once, and that was to me unbelievable. I was like, "What the hell's going on here? I don't know what's happening." So, didn't end great, but yeah, that's. I've never been dashed through 9 holes on any course ever. So no, can't say I have. So unfortunate, but true. Sure, there's a few people out there, but not many. Not many can say they've been legit under par for 9 holes. I'm sure you'll have a few fish tellers that'll text in, "Oh, yeah, I was." I need friends to confirm it. Okay? One thing we know about golf, "Oh, yeah, I'm 300 off the tee." Then you go play with the guy, and the guy's like, it could be the driest fairway in the world, and it rolls up to 280. All right? Oh, no, but I hit it 300. Yeah, okay. So, I don't think so. So, I'd be curious, though, how many people legit can say that they've been, well, even shoot under par on 18. Like, I know a few guys. I've golfed them. McCourt, Sandbagger. He's done it a few times. I haven't golfed with many guys who can finish around under par. I've seen a few that are close, like, low 70s, pars. Willie from in our fantasy draft. Well, not anymore. He's old as dirt. But when he was younger, he could do it. So, not a lot of guys, right? It's tough, man. Like, if you could shoot under par in golf, you're a pretty damn good golfer. I don't care if it's a local course or not. It's pretty darn good. And I'm not talking par threes. No offense to the par three course owners, Meg, and others. But we're talking on, like a par four, par five, like a real course. Par threes are really hard. Don't get me wrong. But
I'd say, I have a lower standard, probably not a very good golfer, but even if you did that on Dragon's Head or whatever, that means you're still putting pretty well.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, it means you're one putting on quite a few holes.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you got to be good enough to get it there. So, hey, Greg, Scotty Williams was under par last time I played with him, Parkline Matt. Yeah, but Matt, where were you playing? All right. No, I know Willie's good. I just like to chirp him. Imagine if his fantasy was as good as his golf. Like, I've never met a guy who's good as golf and that bad at fantasy. It's unbelievable. He's still looking for his first title 20 years later in our league. Now, he does love to trade all his draft picks, though, Cons. I'll say it every year. He's never afraid to do that. Like 3 weeks into the season, he's trading his first round the following year.
He's a tinkerer.
Oh, God. I know. The one time he drafted, I think he might have drafted 3 defenses once. Oh, so awesome. I love it. Hey, guys, I'm more than happy with 1 or 2 birdies around. Yeah. Come on. You get a birdie, man. That's why it's called birdie juice, because it's rare for 99% of us. 100%. You get a bird, the whole group's fired up. More so because you get the birdie juice. But, heck, I played it where we have par juice just because, right? Make it more enjoyable. It's the whole point of it. Should be fun. I like it. Hey, Greg's, it's too deep. Oh, yeah, sure. I've heard that many times. I've never heard dash 2 on the golf course. I've heard dash 2 all the time in hockey. Tons.
Yeah, Duke and I were talking about maybe having it go back into hockey as well. Like if you're 300, just 300 par on the game,
No.
Go back and forth with it.
No, there's no chance. There's certain things that you don't cross lines, right? You don't cross swords. You don't cross lines in a certain terminology from sport to sport. It's just not how it goes. So, hey, Greg, your old pal Meg has a tough par 3 course out near Stoney. She can't. Oh, I know. That's why I mentioned par 3 owners, except Meg. Yeah, she's killing it out there. So, by the way, I should check it out in Stoney. So, she's probably still sandbagging it though out there off the tee all the time too. So, Meg's a pretty good hitter, no doubt about that. Edmonton Oilers tonight. Connor Ingram. I think it's safe to say that this is Connor. Like, the Oilers are going to ride Connor Ingram as much as they can. You look at their remaining schedule this month, and I look at the Oilers, and I'm like, okay, so they play St. Louis tonight, right? Then they fly home, and you've got Nashville on Sunday. Then you got the Sharks on Tuesday. You got the Panthers on Thursday. So their 4 games are against teams the Sharks, I guess, did actually get in the playoffs. So they're at 8. But 4 teams below them in the standings for sure. Then you have Tampa Bay, Utah, Tampa Bay at home, then Utah and Vegas on the road for 2, big game against the Ducks, and then the struggling Seattle Kraken to end the month. So the Oilers have 9 games in the next 19 days. There's no back-to-backs. There's a close Thursday night, Saturday afternoon, Thursday night in Vegas, Saturday afternoon in Edmonton. That's as close as it comes to back-to-back. You could play Ingram all 9 games. Honestly, you could. They probably won't. But what's it going to start? 7 of them? 8? Like, honestly, Tristan Jarry, the way he's playing right now, you can't play him. I thought I said, hey, maybe that relief appearance against Colorado would give him a boost to say, okay, you know what? Like, okay, I'm feeling something. It's all right. No. His last 6 starts he's allowed 7, 5, 5, 4, 5, 4. Okay? 30 goals in 6 starts. He's an average of 5, and I'm not including empty netters. I'm including when he's in the net. 6 starts, 30 goals. How can you start him right now? So this is Connor Ingram's squad here. And you know what? Obviously, the team defense has to be better. There's no question. But at some point, your goalie can't let in 5 goals every game. Okay? Like, their job is to stop something. So, yeah, this to me, it's Connor Ingram's team. And, God, like, I don't know. The Oilers have to pray somehow that Tristan Jarry will rediscover his game maybe in the offseason. I don't know if it's salvageable this year. It would be a minor miracle. Honestly, that's what it would be. I'll say what's more likely. Tristan Jarry finds his game, right? Or the Toronto Maple Leafs find a set. There is no team in the NHL whose superstars, because that's where it starts. The coach can't. Everyone's like Craig Berube. Yeah, Craig Berube is tough as nails. The Chief, great nickname. Tough as nails player. He can't go into the room. The coach can tell everybody all the things. The players have to be the ones at the end of the day who make the decision in split seconds, right? You can have a great breakout. If the guys don't connect the pass, the breakout system's irrelevant. Right? It's irrelevant. Ask any coach out there. You can come up with a great, but the players miss the pass over and over again, right? Or the one guy misses his assignment. What are you going to do? If the players choose not to stand up for one another, there's nothing the coach can do. And I see and mean it consistently, because I know McCabe does it. He just did it the other day. There's some guys in the room who do it in Toronto, but their leaders don't. They just don't do it. It's not in them. And that's okay. And that's where it's Toronto's fault as an organization, because this has been recognizable for 10 years. Willie Nylander's never had it, right? Marner never had it. Matthews never had it. Tavares, that's not their personalities. They don't have it. Right? And I'm not talking fighting. I'm talking standing up for yourself. All you have to do is compare it. Look at Connor McDavid. McDavid doesn't get in scrums very often, but he'll hit guys hard. We've seen it at the Olympics. You've seen it in the playoffs. You've seen it in the regular season. Guy shoots a puck at Leon Draisaitl. McDavid comes in there. No, nothing comes of it, but you're just like, hey, that's not acceptable. And I will say, I was a little surprised that no one actually just went, like, I know Trent Frederick gloves, like Trent Frederick's not going to fight, a shorter person, right? It's just, it's not going to do it. I think he's smart enough that he understood, hey, this is not the guy for me to be going after at this moment, right? It's not. It's just, you can't do it, right? Reitzkovian, smaller player, a little bit of a shift disturber for sure. But that's where Spencer Stastny, Jack Roslovic, Matt Savoy, go down the list. You got lots of other guys, right? When you're in the lightweight category, someone in that category's got to step up. You know who's in the heavyweight category. You know who's in the light heavyweight. You know who's in the middleweight. We all know it. Nugent Hopkins will fight when he has to. Zach Hyman will fight when he has to. Nurse, Frederick, they got enough toughness. So, I don't mind. But look in Toronto. Their leaders never do it. Leon Draisaitl will turn around. He'll slash you. He'll get mad. He'll chirp at least, right? He'll hit you. Reverse hit. McDavid definitely will hit you. William Nylander? No. Marner? No. Tavares? No. Matthews? No. And so now when one of their star guys gets hurt, look what happens. Now, I respect Morgan Riley for saying I should have done something, but it's too late. Right? Like, what the hell was Brandon Carlo doing? How does Brandon Carlo do nothing? Right? Like, Willie Nylander throws his hands up. So he knows it's a cheap hit, but he does nothing. Right? But still, what's more likely? The Maple Leafs finding that or Tristan Jarry finding his game? I don't know right now. Honestly. And I'm pretty certain the Toronto guys aren't changing. And I still don't know. Tristan Jarry, since coming here to Edmonton, has been an unmitigated disaster. The trade looks worse by the day. I'm not saying that Stu Skinner would have had a 1.8 goals against and a 940 save percentage. Not at all. But wouldn't be letting in 5 goals every game. Okay? Just wouldn't be. So now it's up to Connor Ingram. Right or wrong, it's not his, it's kind of his problem. Probably not fair when they signed him thinking he was going to be our starter. Kind of eerily similar to how Stuart Skinner became the starter in Edmonton because Jack Campbell did not work. Right? Did not work. And you can't even buy out Jarry because we got people texting already. Just buy him out in the summer. No, you can't. Do you know what so Tristan Jarry's cap hit is $5.375 million. That's what his cap hit is. But if you wanted to buy out Tristan Jarry, he's got 2 years left after this season. If you bought him out, the buyout next year on the cap would be 4.7. You'd save like $600,000. You can't even sign a goalie to minimum to replace him. You'd be better off putting him in the minors because at least then you get a reprieve of $1.15 million. That's actually better. Right? Because you can get a goalie for $1 million. Right? You can't put a goalie on the roster when the league minimum it would cost you more. So, and then the following year after that, it's 4.2. So you save you save about 1.1, no different than putting him in the minors. So yeah, it's kind of buyout proof. So you got to work with them strongly and say, okay, what can we do to try to help you get your game back in the offseason? That's what they have to do. They have no other option. Right? And unless you can find a way for someone to trade for him. Now, Jarry wasn't the only reason last night. Let's be abundantly clear. I didn't see any glaringly weak goals, but I also didn't see a big save. But the point is, look at his overall numbers in Edmonton. There hasn't been an area or a time where it's like, oh, okay, it's improved. It hasn't been. He's allowed 30 goals in his last 6 starts. He's made 13 starts, and in 9 of them, he's allowed 4+. Like, I'm sorry. I ain't good enough. So they're going to have to, ride it out. They have no better option. Hey, Gregor, do you think Pickard will be on the bench come playoff time? I don't know, maybe. Now, I'd have to look at the Oilers' salary cap. I don't think it matters, but keep in mind, there is a salary cap, which includes your backup. So, and you can be on the roster, but if you're not dressed, that's the salary cap roster. So, depending on what they have for forwards or defense, I'd have to go back and look. I don't think it's going to matter. But if they came to a moment where they had to say, well, geez, rather than waste 5.375 as our backup, we can get Pickard as $1 million, and the only time he comes in is if there's an injury, right? Saves you $4.3 million, sure. But I don't think the Oilers are in that situation. But if they were, that's a no-brainer. That is a no-brainer. But the Oilers, that has gone way, and I even cautioned people that started. I said, are you sure? Because everyone's like, oh yeah, this is going to be awesome. I'm like, You sold on that? Because A, the Oilers team defense has to improve. But B, Stu Skinner could have some downs, but he also pulled himself out of it numerous times. We've yet to see that from Tristan Jarry. And now it's going to be Ingram's team until Jarry can show you that he can start multiple games and play well. I'm not sure he'll get more than 3 or 4 starts down the stretch at the rate he's playing. How can you do it? Quick break. We will return. Spec joins us next. It's Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is the #1 heating and cooling company for people who want heating and cooling, because you'll save a bundle by bundling. Then you can use hot, cold, hot, cold. Come on, thermostat, do what you're told. Turn up the heat, turn up the cold to the vent, start pushing out tornadoes. Bundle my furnace with some AC. Gonna get a deal from Legacy. Oh, yeah. Save a bundle when you bundle your new furnace and AC from Legacy today. Plus no payments and no interest for 1 year. That's how you build your legacy. Legacy Heating and Cooling.
A pizza from Papa John's is already pretty great. But you know what's even better? 2 pizzas from Papa John's. For a limited time, get a medium 1-topping pizza for only $6 when you order any large specialty pizza at regular menu price. Whether you're feeding your family, your team, or yourself, get your next meal from your locally owned and operated Papa John's with a $6 1-top medium when you order any large specialty at regular menu price. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
Got a car you're ready to part with? Find out what it's worth, fast, easy, and totally free at Go Auto. We're talking top dollar trade-ins, whether it's a little or still rocking that new car smell. Just a few clicks, and boom, you've got your value. Text value to 780-777-7777 to start. That's value to 780 all sevens. Why guess what it's worth? Let Go Auto show you the money.
Silent Rides is one of Alberta's premier specialty charter companies. With our luxury motor coaches, we provide our customers with the safest and most reliable ground transportation services. Our seatbelt equipped, top-of-the-line motor coaches have become the preferred carrier for many local sports teams, tours, corporate outings, and other various travel needs across Western Canada. For more information and to request a quote, contact sales at 877-748-0991 or visit silentrides.ca.
This hockey season, before every game, check out the pregame show with Andrew Walker on Sports 1440. It's brought to you by Titan Supply, your only source for rigging, lifting, and hauling products. Visit titansupply.ca.
Well, get ready for a silly hockey fans. Your partner in power just skated onto the ice.
EWEL.ca, the new e-commerce website for electrical wholesalers Edmonton, is ready for the power play 24/7, 365.
UL skates to where the puck will be in 5 years. Now that's forward thinking.
Killer selection, slamming products from the best brands, and legendary service.
Don't sit on the bench. Get your account today at ewell.ca and win that project.
Plug into your partner in power. Get an EWEL.ca account today.
It's the iconic Jasper Ave Patty Party. That's on the rocks.
We're turning Jasper Avenue green.
Your 5-day St. Patty's Day party kicks off Friday at OTR.
With live entertainment every day.
Including the Feelin' Lucky burlesque show on Sunday.
Plus pipers, Irish dancers, and doors open at 9 a.m. on the 17th.
We got more green beer than Marco has fancy shirts. And trust me, that's a lot.
Lucky the Leprechaun will be there.
Will you?
It's the iconic Jasper Ave Patty Party. That's on the rocks. Next round's on me. Woohoo!
NHL Star Sticks are back at McDonald's, and we're celebrating by going bigger.
Make that smaller, way smaller than ever before.
Collect the set and get one of 7 mini sticks with every NHL Star Sticks meal. Featuring McDavid, Matthews, Quinn Hughes, Makar, Celebrini, Reinhardt, and Montembeau. So get yours while they last. 1 stick per meal purchase. Limited time at participating Canadian restaurants.
Oh, Canada. Jiffy Lube is here to keep you moving through mornings like these. Full synthetic oil changes, quality Pennzoil products, tire checks, battery tests, and everything else your car needs to get through our winters. Stop by Jiffy Lube for fast, easy, warranty-approved service. No appointment, no hassle. Just dependable service right when you need it. Jiffy Lube, keeping you moving through this. For 50 years, the Selby Group has been building trusted homes and strong communities. This year, we're celebrating that milestone with special events and anniversary promotions you won't want to miss. Discover Hillshire by Selby Group, beautifully designed homes in a community built for the way you live today. And coming this spring, move-in ready spec homes will be available. Your new home is waiting. Celebrate 50 years of Selby Group at Hillshire. Visit selvygroup.com or stop by Hillshire today.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Elks Nation. Check out the new website, elksnation.ca. Articles, podcasts, and more breaking down the green and gold. The most in-depth W football coverage online, elksnation.ca.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Hey, it's Positive Friday. And for you, a Positive Friday could be winning a little prize pack we got today from McDonald's, where you get a $50 McDonald's gift card. All you got to do is text the word STICKS, STICKS. Text it to right now, you get in the draw for that. Somebody today is going to win that automatically. And you go into the main draw to win the signed McDavid jersey, a signed McDavid Star Stick collectible, $100 at McDonald's and $100 at the NHL gift shop. So do it right now. Good luck. Could make your way Positive Friday. Cost you nothing. All you got to do is text the word STICKS to 833-401-1440. 833-401-1440. Oilers in St. Louis tonight. And here's kind of an odd thing. The Oilers are this is the final game of a 4-game road trip that started in Vegas. Did you know that from when they got to Vegas, since they've been in Vegas to this game, St. Louis has actually traveled more than the Oilers. And this is the Blues' second home game. Because the Blues were in Anaheim on Sunday when the Oilers were in Vegas. Edmonton went to Colorado. Blues went all the way home to St. Louis. Played a game. Then they went to Carolina, played a game, and now they're back playing in St. Louis. The Blues have traveled way more than the Edmonton Oilers on this, each playing 4 games. It's kind of wild. The Oilers have traveled 2,927 kilometers from Vegas to Colorado to Dallas to St. Louis. Meanwhile, the Blues have flown 5,953 kilometers, going from Anaheim to St. Louis to Carolina, back to St. Louis. So fatigue, in a weird way, actually benefits the Edmonton Oilers in this second half of a back-to-back, if you believe in fatigue. Let's get to the spec report, brought to you by GS Construction. They're looking for experienced top men, pipe layers, and operators. You're looking for a great career, great job, check it out, gsconstruction.ca. Look up careers. As Mark Spector from Rogers Sportsnet joins us. Spec, how you doing?
Doing great, man. Doing great. That's interesting about the travel. That's I noticed that St. Louis has been all over the board, but you know what? They're winning. They won in Carolina last night.
Yeah,
I believe they won. Well, they did win in Anaheim when they were there.
Oh yeah,
and,
the Blues are rolling, man. They're 6-1-1. The only loss they had was to the Islanders, and Hofer actually stolen that point because they got badly outshot. Gave up 49 shots that game. So, you know, the Blues goaltending has been on fire coming out of the Olympic break, and it's been more Hofer. This will be his 6th start tonight. It was Binnington last night in Carolina. He stopped 31-32. So they're getting good goaltending. The Oilers are just hoping for average goaltending at this point. Now, not that Jari was the problem last night, but he wasn't the solution again.
Yeah, I mean, I have two minds on Jari. You know, the team hasn't given him a decent start in front of him in forever. They just don't play well in front of him. But I've seen this before over the many, many years. And often the goalie, you know, when the team never plays well in front of you, that just becomes, it's not the team's problem. It becomes your problem because he doesn't play that well behind them either. So, you know what, Jari, like he took a step here in Denver and everyone loved that. And even, you know, all the types, we thought, okay, hey, here's a chance for a guy to have a springboard, be a great story. Let's get some traction. And, you know, what the hell, like I'll write that story and help, you know, push a narrative along if it's going to help a guy that's been struggling maybe. But the very next night out, he's below average again. Like you know, when 5 go in a night, Jason, eventually it can't be everyone else's fault, right?
Yeah, hey, I agree. 2 things can be true. The Oilers have to play better defensively at times, but your goalie's got to make a save at some point.
Yeah. Yeah, and he's you just said he's let in, would you say 30 goals his last 6 games?
Yes.
Yeah, so that's 5 a night. So in the end, that's becoming a large sample size. An .855 save percentage in Edmonton is a large sample size. They were terrible. The Oilers were terrible last night in front of them. They never were going to win that game no matter who was in net. The first 2 goals had nothing to do with the goalie. The third one, it's a wicked 2-on-1. Guy goes post off the goalie's rear end and in. That happens to the best goalies in the world, right? He didn't even score in the shot. He hits the post, it hits him in the bum and goes in. I'm not blaming him for any of the first 3 goals. And when it's 3-0 after 1 in Dallas, 99% of the time the game's lost anyhow. But Jari wasn't any good in that game. And, you know, it's starting to look like if this team accomplishes anything this year, and that's a big if, they'll do it in spite of their general manager's work this year, not because of it.
Well, yeah, I guess. Although, here's a funny thing, Spec. What if Connor Ingram plays great? Well, who acquired him for nothing? GM, right? He acquired Murphy. He acquired Dickinson. So he's made some moves, but yeah, hey, the Jari one, it would be in spite of that move for sure. I think that's fair. But overall, some of the other moves haven't been that bad. But, now it's like, to me, it's clear Connor Ingram is going to be the guy you're going to try to ride here. They got 9 games the rest of this month. None of them are back-to-back. They've got multiple days off in between a few of them. They play tonight, then they play Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, 2 days off. Wednesday, Friday, day off. Tuesday, Thursday, day off. And then the Ducks game, and then 2 more days off. Like, honestly, Ingram might start 7 of 9, maybe 8.
Yeah. Yeah, Knobloch said to me somewhere on the road in California that coming out of the Olympic break that, okay, there's no more, sort of softening the landing for Jari and trying to put him in a position to be the number one we thought he'd be and all that stuff. I'm paraphrasing him, but he said it's on merit now. I'm playing my best guy. Whoever gives me a chance to win, the job's up in the air. Whoever plays better gets it. And, no one on earth is arguing who plays better. Ingram's been a better goalie ever since him and Jari put on Oilers uniforms at, roughly the same time. And it's all there is to it. Jari's been a huge disappointment here. And he's got some major mental work to figure out, like maybe you got to sick Lorianne Munzer on this guy, man, because I don't know where, with goalies, it often starts in the head and moves south from there. I don't see a guy who's very mentally ready to take this job on. Do you?
No, not at all. And the thing was, Spec, like I said, the way he played it's to me why I think it's in between the ears is because he came in relief when he had no time to think about it. He actually looked pretty good, right? Made some key saves, straightforward to the puck. Awesome. Now, the Oilers defense was better, and I agree. That's why I said it's twofold here. The Oilers defense was bad from the opening minute. They weren't ready to play, and they never really got back in the game at any point. It was 3-0 at 15 minutes, 5-0 at 26 minutes. Good night, Irene. The only time they had a chance to get back in the game was when it was 5-2, and they got the late power play. And on a rare night, their power play was god-awful. I don't know how many turnovers they had on the power play, but I can think of 3 right off the top of my head. Yeah. They could have at least given themselves some hope there. Hey, we're down 5-3. Get Dallas thinking, but the power play was just brutal again. So power play wasn't good. Penalty kill wasn't good. 5-on-5 defense wasn't good. 5-on-5 attacking wasn't good. Goaltending wasn't good. It was a great team effort of suck.
No, it was a great team effort of suck for sure. And I'll make it clear. My belief is it started with the team, not with the goalie. The team wasn't ready to play. The goalie didn't have a prayer. It's 2-0. Boom. And, I guess I'd like, a lot of goalies have said over the years, one of the key components to play in that position is the ability to forget things fast. Mm-hmm. And he got victimized for 3 in the first period. And you can say that, it wasn't his fault. You could say that. But I feel like he comes out in the second and he doesn't give you a chance to keep it at 3 for very long. Boom, it's 4. Now it's 5, and now it's over. Like 5-0's 5-0. I don't care what team you are. You're in Dallas. They've won 1 million games in a row here. You're down 5-0. Pack the bus, back it up. Let's go. So I felt like Jari might have had a chance to keep this thing. What if it's 3-1 and then it's 3-2 and now it's a different ball game?
Yeah.
Right. But no, it's 5-1 and it's 5-2 and it's over. And like I say, back the bus up.
Yeah. There's only 10 games in NHL history where teams come back from a 5-goal deficit and won. So, and the Oilers have done it once. They were trailing 7-2 at one point and then came back and won 8-7. So it's pretty damn rare, right? When you consider how many games have been played in the NHL. So, But now they move forward, Spec. Ingram obviously comes in. They don't have any other defensemen. They don't have any other forwards. So, they'll run back the same thing tonight. And they take on a Blues team who obviously is playing relaxed, who's got a lot of confidence, who feels like, hey, you never know. You never know. Like, look at the way Seattle, like the Blues have gained 9 points on Seattle in 8 games. 9. So they say, hey, guys, if we keep rolling, it's pretty slim odds. But I don't think this will be an easy game tonight at all for the Edmonton Oilers. They got to be awake, or they could ruin what looked like a very promising road trip.
Yeah, it is. It's a key game in that for the Oilers. They really staked them. It's like when they won 3 in a row and then went out and lost, I think, 4 in a row and 6 out of 7 or whatever it was. Like that we forgot about that 3 in a row awful quick. You're right, Jay. They got a chance to come home from this trip 3 out of 4, and that's great. Like on this trip, 3 out of 4, it's a wicked trip. So if they need to dig in here at some point, this team needs to find some traction and keep it, right? Not just win 2 or 3 and then lose a bunch. So yes, tonight's, it's more important than you think, certainly mentally for this team to jump back into that, into the race and be, show yourself you got some bounce back. Haven't seen a ton of bounce back in this team in the long haul in this season. There's been a lot of 2 wins, 2 losses, 2 wins, 2 losses. That's why you're barely over 500 here. So yes, time to put your big boy pants on here and play a team that's way below you in the standings and show them who's boss.
The only good news for the Oilers, in games when they've lost by 5 or more, the next game they're 2-0. So dare to dream, Oiler fans. Dare to dream. They did beat Columbus after losing to Dallas 8-3, and then they shut out Seattle after getting spanked 9-1 to Colorado. So
wow,
it's a rare trend, Spec, but it is
that is a rare trend.
You have to look at. What did you make of the the melee there at the end of the second period and into the third? Were you surprised that one of the Oilers, like lightweights, didn't go challenge the little water bug in Dallas?
You know what? I never thought for a second that the other guy, Herconian, was the aggressor. First of all, Connor McDavid was the aggressor all the way in that play. He didn't like the fact that the guy shot a puck that hit Draisaitl. That's good for McDavid. McDavid was sour. They're losing. He should be. And he was never in any trouble. So, and the guy's 5'0". I remember Dave Semenko saying when Gretzky fought Brian Bellows, they said, I'm not stepping in there. He wants to fight Brian Bellows. He's on his own, So I feel the same. But like Connor was fine. There was no, it wasn't even a fight, right? The refs didn't think it was a fight. It wasn't a fight. So I don't see that as a someone better get in there moment. Do you?
I just, the game's over. And I think at that point, I liked what Frederick did, but especially, did you see the video of him, kind of chirping the whole bench? That's where I look and say, okay, hey, guys, and they're laughing at him. But I just, when it's a blowout game, I'd love to see, like I said, to me, it's a bunch of lightweight guys. You know what? Matt Savoy, Spencer Stashny, Jack Ross, go down the list. I'm not like Trent Frederick's not going to do it because you know what? All that can happen is he might get suspended, jumping a guy like that, but somebody else could have. That's all I was thinking.
I guess. I mean, I'll tell you what, I wouldn't say this on Twitter or, I guess this is publicly, but I feel like, the Oilers have walked through Dallas and won the last 2 playoff series and made their goalie look very average and beat him for fun last year, 4 in a row. And here we are, you win a regular season game. Some kid that I'm looking his name up to see who the heck he is chirping Connor McDavid from the ice and the whole Oilers bench. I'm thinking, really? Really? Let's play in the playoffs again. And when we're beating you in 3 this time, let's see how loud you are now. Come on. Are you kidding me?
No, see, I don't mind the guy doing it, man. Hey, that's what being a rat is. The Oilers haven't had a rat spec maybe since Cassian, and even Cassian wasn't a super rat. He would respond to anything, but
Cass stood up for himself for sure.
Yeah, I think having a rat could be a good thing for a team that's hey, at least the Oilers aren't the Maple Leafs though. At least they do stand up for one another.
Oh, for sure. I just if it was me and the guy was on my team and he'd accomplished as much in his career as is it Herconian?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Whatever it is. If it was my teammate and I was a veteran and I just played Edmonton 2 years in a row and got sent to the golf course and some kids out there yapping and talking smack to the best player in the world, I'm thinking, son, he's going to remember. We're all going to forget about that when the playoff series starts. If there's one, Connor McDavid's not going to forget about that. He'll remember it. I'm not sure this is great. That's what I would be thinking if I was Jamie Benn.
Yeah, maybe. But last year's last year, right? It's great that the Oilers beat them last year, but right now, if you're the Dallas Stars, you have spanked the Oilers 8-3, 7-2.
Yeah, great.
Yeah. Sure. But hey, the Oilers got to get to the third round first. And the way they're
going.
So
does Dallas. So does Dallas, man.
But I don't like I beat you last year, so now you can't say anything to me again.
I don't think they just beat him once, Jason. My recollection is they beat him twice.
Sure. But
my recollection is they kind of own Dallas when it counts. So yeah, beat me in a regular season game. Awesome. just beat me. You beat me fair and square. Like they beat the fair and square. They were the better team times 10 last time. I'm not saying they weren't. But let's not get too carried away because as I recall, when the games count, the white team beats the green team for fun. They beat them in 6, then they beat them in 5. 4 straight wins, right? Sent you home. Your coach got fired. Your goalie was on the bench. We took your wives and your girlfriends. We left you looking like a very poor team. And that's fair too. But I didn't see the Oilers at the end of that standing in front of their bench pointing fingers and lecturing their good players. And now you got this kid that no one's ever heard of, and he's doing that in a regular season game. Come on. Where was this kid when they were getting beat in the playoffs last year? Probably in junior or the East Coast League or something.
Hey, yeah, maybe that's what it was. I'm that player. I'm like, hey, boys, you only beat him because I wasn't here. That'd be my comeback. Try to beat us when I'm here. All I know is that I'm here. You haven't.
Boy. Like I say, I'll say this and we'll change the subject. No one on that Dallas team is going to remember what alphabet guy was saying to Connor McDavid at the end of that game. Connor McDavid is going to remember it very well.
It could be very true about that. Very true. Quickly to the how many games do you think Gudis gets? And you think he should get? Should he had an in-person hearing? What'd you think of it?
Yeah, I don't like. I like Gudis, and I'd have Gudis on my team all the time. But he does have a long list here of bad hits, and I think that I think the league is too slow in reacting to the bad hit guy. It took them. Eventually, they were giving Rafi Torres like 18-40 games and stuff. But oh my God, how many people did he kill before that happened? And I think Gudis, now what are we going to do? Give him 4 games? He blows out Austin Matthews' knee. Is the league waiting for the medical report to come in? Is that what they're waiting for, Jay? I mean, come on. Some guy with a history of bad hits blows out the knee of an absolute superstar, and we're giving him 4 games? I don't totally disagree with that.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I was a little surprised it wasn't an in-person hearing, to be honest. Guy who's being a multiple-time offender. I think the only reason why he's not getting it is that I can think maybe rationalizing it is that he kind of stepped there. His leg was there the whole time. Right now, his knee is jutting out forward the entire time. There's no debate about that. But It wasn't like he came across in the last second and chicken winged or flared it out. So that's the only thing I'm trying to rationalize why it wasn't more. That's the only thing I can think of. But he'll get his games. I'm guessing you watch. He'll probably get like 4 games, which will have people freaking out. I think the max he can get is 5. Right? Is that what
max he can get is 5? If he doesn't get 5, there's something wrong here. But I mean, listen. Like I think. I'm not in for separate rules on the ice for good players. We've had this discussion many times. Connor McDavid has the puck more than any player in the league. That's a fact. It's the statistics show us that. Should he draw more penalties than any player in the league? Well, he should sure as hell be in the top 3 or 4 because he's the guy with the puck all the time, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm not asking for special treatment here, but I am asking for special treatment when you target a star player and end his season or knock him out with a very serious injury, right? That to me is it's different if you do that against Herconian and you do it against Austin Matthews. It's different.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Spec, enjoy the game tonight.
All right, man. Looking forward to it. Break it down tomorrow.
Yeah, there you go. Well, we'll do it on Monday, but you can do it on Saturday, but I'm not going to talk to you. Listen to Jake. That's Mark Spector, the Spec Report brought to you by GS Construction. We'll come back. We got stats of the day and much, much more. It's a Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Hey, Edmonton, did you know a local Play Alberta winner scored over $500,000 on Mega Jackpots Ocean Bells? Think about the season tickets you could lock down with that kind of cash. From major casino winners every hour to jackpots worth millions and hundreds of popular games to money that stays in the province, there's never been a better time to sign up for Play Alberta. Download the app today to get started with casino, sports, and lottery all in one app. Must be 18 plus to play. When you gamble, use your game sense.
And here comes Action Electrical Service Team sprinting onto the scene. These are your first responders for any electrical emergency.
That's right. With their fleet of service vans and specialized gear, they assess, they service, and maintain electrical, lighting, and automation systems. They're all about rapid response.
Quick diagnostics and repairs to restore power and safety fast. Hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
A pizza from Papa John's is already pretty great, but you know what's even better? 2 pizzas from Papa John's. For a limited time, get a medium one-topping pizza for only $6 when you order any large specialty pizza at regular menu price. Whether you're feeding your family, your team, or yourself, get your next meal from your locally owned and operated Papa John's with a $6 one-top medium when you order any large specialty at regular menu price. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
Come for Canada's largest trade shows, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. And stay for the experience at the Edmonton Expo Centre. Looking for the perfect place to host your next big event? From trade shows to galas, meetings, and concerts, the Edmonton Expo Centre has the space, event expertise, and service to make your next event unforgettable. With over 522,000 square feet of flexible event space, in-house catering, and operational expertise, they bring your biggest vision to life. Learn more at edmontonexpocentre.com today.
Smart, connected, community driven. Jason Gregor sets the standard for sports talk in Edmonton. Join the conversation on Sports 1440. Text Gregor 833-401-1440. Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
Remember 2025? That's so last year. But seriously, St. Albert Dodge needs to clear some 2025 models off the lot to make room for new inventory. So they're having a huge clear out of all the remaining new 2025 Jeep Wrangler Saharas. The Sahara package is the best seller, so they have a great selection to choose from and priced from as low as $59,900. I don't have to tell you, these are going to go fast. So get there before they are gone. Just head up the trail and see how easy it is to do business at St. Albert Dodge.
Who's that working on the underground utilities over there? All-Star Construction, that's who. What about the street lighting? Yep, All-Star Construction. And the directional drilling, hydrovacking, neighborhood renewal, and telecommunication work? Yep. Since 2009, All-Star Construction has been doing all that and more, shaping and building Edmonton communities for land developers all around Edmonton. That's what All-Star Construction is all about.
At Hughes, it's all about getting in and out quick and clean. No cash, no problem. With Hughes' new tap and wash system, all you need is your debit or credit card to get your vehicle sparkling clean.
Find us at HughesCarWash.com.
You matter. Your mental health matters, and you're braver than you think. Not Alone is an organization focused on creating a space of acceptance and support through tough, meaningful conversation. Use code 1440 for 15% off at notalonecode.com. It's okay to not be okay.
I'm Rick Showers from No Bull RV, and I am a used RV salesman. But just because I love being a used RV salesman doesn't mean you would like doing my job all day long.
If you're selling your RV privately, that means that you have to be an RV salesman too.
That's right, Bob, and there's a lot of work involved. You have to find the customers, be ready to show it at a time and place that's convenient for the other guy, all the stuff you take for granted when you come to No Bull.
There's not a lot of glamour in being a used RV salesman, Rick.
I don't do it for the glamour, Bob. I love helping people enjoy the great outdoors on their terms. It's my life's work, but it doesn't have to be yours. When you sell your quality used RV with us, we take care of everything. Cleaning, repairs, commercials like this one to bring people in, and besides, I like being a used RV salesman a lot more than you do.
And that's No Bull.
NoBullRV.ca.
Portions of this hour brought to you by On the Rocks. The Oilers' push to the playoffs is on, and OTR is ready to be your hockey headquarters. $5.75 Molson Canadian, 69-cent wings, and play score and win every game. See more at OnTheRocksYEG.com.
This is Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Here's Jason Gregor.
Brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca.
$252. Welcome back, Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca. Remind you that at 4 o'clock, we're going to do the main draw. So if you want to get in, you want to be the final qualifier of our McDonald's package today, text the word STICKS, STICKS, to 833-401-1440. Somebody will get an automatic gift card. And then we're going to do the main draw. Everybody who's being qualified the last 3 days, one of you is going to win the main prize pack of a McDavid jersey, McDavid Star Stick collectible, $100 McDonald's gift card, and a $100 NHL gift card. So, STICKS, text STICKS to Sports 1440, and we'll announce the winner coming up after 3 o'clock for that draw, and then we'll have the main draw after 4. Hey, Gregor, your old buddy Struds didn't put the loss last night on Jari, radio free agent listener. Did I say it was only on Jari? I'm pretty sure I outlined the power play sucked, the penalty kill sucked, the 5-on-5 defensive play sucked, the 5-on-5 offensive play sucked, and the goalie sucked. It wasn't just the goalie, but here's the facts. In his last 10 starts, Tristan Jarry has the worst goals saved of above expected of any goalie in the NHL. He's at minus 11.4. Okay, that's an average goalie in the shots he's making, the saves. That's their formula. He's minus 11.4 in 10 games. Like, how is anybody trying to tell me that Tristan Jarry, oh, no, it's all the goaltending? What? What are you talking about? No, yeah, the defense has to play better. No question. But so too does their goaltender. Like, make a save. Alex Lyon, you know what his goal save above expected is in that time? 14.1. Jarry's minus 11.4. That's a difference of 25 goals. Okay? It's okay for your goalie to make a few good saves every now and then. My goodness. Right? It's got to be better. Right? That's why I said, hey, there was times when Skinner needed to be better. We talked about it. But Skinner was never that bad. Don't even compare the two. It's not even close. That's why I said at the time of the trade, everyone was, oh, this would be great. I'm like, you just traded for a guy that hasn't proven any more consistent and is twice as expensive. 5.3 to 2.6. So Jarry's he's got to play better. The defense can play better. I don't discount that. With good goaltending, they probably would have lost 5-2 last night. But the goalie can't make a key save to save his life. He just can't. At some point, you need to stop. It's that simple. You can't pay a guy $5.35 million just to never be able to make a key save in a game for your team. Can't do it. You can pay a guy $1 million for that. Sure. But if you're paying a guy 5.3, you're expecting him to make some saves. It's just how it goes, right? It's just how it goes, man. Like what else is a goalie there for? Right? Oh, by the way, in his last 10 games, you want to know what Stuart Skinner's goal saved above expected is? 4.2. 4.2 goals saved above expected. Can't just look at save percentage. I would dig into that. Right? Skinner has proven, and that's why I argued for years about Stuart Skinner in Edmonton. Everyone wanted to get rid of him. I'm like, hey, Stuart Skinner can have a bad game. Never questioned it. But he can bounce. He doesn't let it have bad game to bad game. We're talking 10 starts. Do you know how long of a period that is for a goalie? Talking since the middle of January, for God's sakes. It's got to be way better. It's just that simple. Way better. Let's get to our stats of the day, brought to you by All Star Construction. Founded in 2009. Of course, they're helping build great neighborhoods, but also love giving back to various charitable things in communities, from building rinks to donating lights. To do more, that's All Star Construction. And hey, let's get some good stats on a positive Friday. How about Evan Bouchard? Bouchard, very nice, well-placed goal last night. He now has 19 goals on the season. That's a new career high for Bouchard. How about this? In his last 18 games, he has 30 points. That's more points than McDavid. More points than Draisaitl since the middle of January. Pretty solid for Evan Bouchard. The only guy in the NHL who has more points in that time, Nikita Kucherov, who's on fire for the Tampa Bay Lightning. Bouchard is going to become the 4th defenseman in Oilers history to score 20 goals in a game. Paul Coffey did it 5 times, 5 years in a row from 82 to 86. Then he got traded. Charlie Huddy had 20 goals in 1983. and Sheldon Surrey had 23 in 2009. So when Bouchard gets a 20-goal mark, there's only 2 guys who've done it in 40 years for the Oilers. It's hard to score 20 goals in the back end. And Bouchard is having his best goal scoring season. That guy, he's gonna set a new mark for goals this year. He's gonna set a new mark for points this year, and he's going to set a new mark for assists this season. It's he is having himself one hell of a season for the Edmonton Oilers. Probably going to get you 90 points, right? Like his career high in points is 82. He's got 76. His career high in goals now is 19. His career high in assists, 64. He needs 8 assists. He needs 7 points, and he'll set new marks across the board. Pretty solid. Also, it could break his penalty minute record. He needs 4 more minors to do that. So he's been pretty consistent, actually. 28, 28, 32, 32, and this year he's at 26 so far. So doesn't take a ton of penalties. But he has had he's had a really good year. And I think Bouchard's season is good enough to at least get him in consideration for the Norse. I don't know if it's going to win it, but I think it could put him in consideration for it. Zach Werenski's season is hard to overlook in Columbus. It's been fantastic. Like there's other guys having good years. Cale Makar's, his October was unreal, but if you look at the rest of his season, it's just kind of been meh for him. Not great, not bad, just meh. Lane Hudson's had a good year. Quinn Hughes has 60 assists, having really a good season this year for the Wild, but he's on the ice for lots of goals against. That's his issue. So, the other guys had a really good year, Rasmus Dahlin and Darren Radish in Tampa Bay. So there's lots of different options. Mo Seider's another guy. Speaking of the Detroit Red Wings, you look at their numbers, it's not great. They've only won 4 of their last 10 games. In that time, they've allowed the Ottawa Senators to have gained ground on them. The Senators are now 6 points back of the Red Wings, and the Sens have 2 games in hand. The only number that's a saving grace for the Red Wings is because their guys are out for a few weeks and Larkin and Kopp, the Red Wings don't have a very busy schedule. That's really their only saving grace. They play the fewest games between now and the end of March amongst playoff competitive teams. So that's really their only benefit, because you look at their schedule and now you look at Larkin, they got Dallas tomorrow. Like Dallas Oiler fans know firsthand how good they're playing. Then you've got the Flames on Monday. If you're Detroit, that's got to be a must-win game on home ice. But then you play Montreal, Boston, Ottawa, Buffalo. Division games huge against Montreal, Boston, and Ottawa, especially the Boston and Ottawa games, because those are teams that are chasing you. But by the time Larkin comes back, the Red Wings could find themselves tied or maybe even out of the playoffs, because Columbus is only 2 points back and they have a game in hand. So that's a little wild to me. Some other stats, we got to talk about it, but SGA, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, sets the NBA all-time record 127 games straight with 20 or more points. Wilt Chamberlain held the record for over 50-plus years. Shai beat it. Michael Jordan couldn't do it. His highest was 72. LeBron James couldn't do it. Kevin Durant. Go through all the list of great scores. No one else. And what's unique about it is he's at 127. There's very few guys even within 50 of him. Right? Like Wilt has the second at 126 and has third at 92. Then it drops down to Oscar Robertson at 79. Michael Jordan's not even within 50, which is wild. Now, Cons, you got the numbers for what's the most consecutive for 25 games or 25 points?
Well, the number I have is 30 points.
Okay.
Wilt did it for 65 consecutive.
Okay.
The next closest would be James Harden at 32.
Okay.
Followed by Wilt twice.
Okay.
You want to do 40 points?
Well, what's that, like a handful?
Wilt Chamberlain, 14 games on 2 occasions. And then Wilt did it for 10. And then 50 points, 5 of the top 6, Wilt. The only other being Kobe. And then consecutive 60-point games, Wilt Chamberlain, 4 in a row. He also did it 3 times in a row and then back-to-back twice.
Yeah. But according to our young Josh Fenwick, he's overrated.
Well,
Josh, you might want to rethink that statement. What's next? You're going to tell me you don't know who Jim Brown is? Come on. It's again, that's in the Remchuk category right there of comments. You're like, I'm too young to know, but it's not you cannot say he's overrated. I'm sorry. No one dominated the game in his era like he did. I'm sorry. That's just because he's taller, then Sean Bradley should have dominated everybody, right? How tall is Wemby right now? It's pretty damn tall, and he's really good, but it's hard to do, man. It's a pretty big drop off. So Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, like right now, when you go 127 games, you wonder like how long could he go? Like I think they got 15 games left this year, so he can get up to 142 this season. Like you just wonder how long it's going to go, man. It's an impressive feat to watch, and it's hard to like when you put it in the category. Wayne Gretzky's 51 game point streak, ridiculous in the National Hockey League, like ridiculous, and like the longest active streak recently was McDavid. Like you can't even get to halfway. Guys struggle to even get to 26. Right? So it's hard. And so Shea Gilgeous-Alexander being 50 more than everybody but Wilt and Oscar Robertson. And he might be, and if he gets to 129, well, then it's only Wilt who's within 50 games of him. That's damn impressive, man. And I think as Canadians, you might want to watch Shea Gilgeous-Alexander a little bit more. Like this guy is unreal. Shaquille O'Neal told me, hey, he thinks he's the best player in the NBA. And he thinks he's going to be the best player for the foreseeable future. It's not just, this is a lucky stretch, right? Since the NBA began, this will be my last stat for you. Declan's going to like this. Since the NBA began tracking turnovers in 1977, 1978, there have only been 3 instances of a player having a season where they averaged over 30 points a game. They were 50% or higher field goal ratio and plus 2.5 assists to turnover ratio. 3 times a player has done that in a full season. SGA has done it this year. SGA did it last year, and he did it the year before. He's the only player in NBA history to have ever done it. Pretty good player. Like, he has the ball a lot. He doesn't turn over the ball. He's a good playmaker, scores, and he's efficient from shooting. Like, he does a lot of things really well. And now they got a good team, right? They got a good team. Make no bones about it, man. Like, Lou Dort is a really good defender. And then you got Williams, and you got Chet. Like, but make no mistake, he's the guy who runs it. And Shea Gilgeous-Alexander is right now, according to Shaq, the best basketball player on the planet. It's pretty good. That's our stats of the day, brought to you by All-Star Construction. Let's get to the Con Man Sports 1440 update, brought to you by Go Auto. It's Friday. You're thinking for the weekend, what do I want to do? Well, maybe you want to go to Go Auto. They got 71 different locations, over 15,000 vehicles. If you're looking for a car, goauto.ca will have.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Game day for the Oilers down in St. Louis, taking on the Blues. Puck drop just after 6. Pregame coverage here on Sports 1440 gets going at 5. Only one other game tonight. Kings in New York taking on the Islanders. In the association, Raptors will host the Suns just after 5:30. They also got the Knicks and the Pacers, Pistons, Grizz, Pelicans, and Houston, and the Warriors hosting the Timberwolves. Round 2 Players Championship going on right now. Ludwig Goldberg sitting atop the leaderboard, 11 under. Alexander Shoffley, 10 under. Cameron Young, 9 under. While Corey Connors, -8 at the top. Other Canadians in the hunt, Taylor Penchard, 1 over. Nick Taylor, even. And Sudarshan Ilmaraju is currently +1. Mackenzie Hughes, AJ Ewart looking like they're going to miss the cut. In the BCHL, the Saints will host Cranbrook tonight, while the Crusaders are taking on West Kelowna. Both games starting at 7. In the AJ, you've got 5 games, including Devon and Whitecourt. Olds heading to Canmore, and the Storm up against the Thunder. In the PWHL, Seattle's in Minnesota just after 6. And Pandas volleyball in action this weekend. For the U Sports Championship, they'll take on number 8 seed Montreal tonight, 9 o'clock. Semifinals go tomorrow with the final on Sunday. And at the Paralympics, Canada's sledge hockey team advances to the gold medal game after beating China 4-2. Coming up in hour 2 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll be joined by our co-host, Wanye Gretz of Oilers Nation, and we'll talk to St. Louis Blues reporter Andy Strickland. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
This is Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station broadcasting on Treaty 6 territory.
Download the free iHeartRadio app and listen to CKJR wherever you go.
A pizza from Papa John's is already pretty great, but you know what's even better? 2 pizzas from Papa John's. For a limited time, get a medium one-topping pizza for only $6 when you order any large specialty pizza at regular menu price. Whether you're feeding your family, your team, or yourself, get your next meal from your locally owned and operated Papa John's with a $6 one-top medium when you order any large specialty at regular menu price. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is the #1 furnace install company for sailors because they know the value of a warm port. And they sing, there was a ship who fought the cold, who sailed the
How are you?
furnace load. She brought the heat.
Friday.
And her name was Legacy. Through icy wind and winter squall.
A fantastic.
For one and all with a comfort chugging guarantee. And her name was Legacy. No payments. No. Yep, no payments and no interest for 1 year on your new furnace. Don't trust just any ports in a winter storm. Trust Legacy Heating.
1440 Sports 1440.
For road trips, errands, or just life on the go? Go Auto offers a massive selection with over 15,000 new and used vehicles to choose from. With over 70 locations across Western Canada, finding your next ride has never been easier. Whether it's a roomy SUV for the family, a sleek car for the open road, or a rugged truck for your weekend adventures, you'll find it here at a price you'll love. Explore thousands of vehicles today at goauto.ca.
From the first face-off, Sports 1440 is your home for hockey talk with live coverage, expert analysis, and pre- and post-game shows. We bring you closer to the game. Tune in 24/7 only on Sports 1440, Edmonton Sports Station.
Scott McGilvery here, HGTV host and renovation expert. The one upgrade I know homeowners will love: better, fresher Culligan water straight from the tap. Culligan's Aquasential reverse osmosis filtration system takes your water to the next level. With up to 7 stages of filtration and 14 filter options, they're certified to reduce over 90 contaminants. Your tap water is about to get a major upgrade. Safer water that tastes great. Get started with a free in-home water test at Culligan.com. Culligan, water you love.
Wow. For a silly hockey fan. Your partner in power just skated onto the ice.
EWEL.ca, the new e-commerce website for electrical wholesalers Edmonton, is ready for the power play 24/7, 365.
UL skates to where the puck will be in 5 years. Now that's forward thinking.
Killer selection, slamming products from the best brands, and legendary service.
Don't sit on the bench. Get your account today at EWEL.ca and win that project.
Plug into your partner in power. Get an EWEL.ca account today.
You see it? Fusion Promo Marketing can make it. Fusion makes high-quality, memorable promotional products for businesses, sports teams, and corporate events. From vision to reality, get noticed and remembered. Fusion with a Z. Promomarketing.ca.
At Fountain Tire, success is a team effort. They're committed to their team members and their customers. And that means treating your vehicle like it's their own and finding solutions that suit your needs. Because whatever the road brings ahead, they're on it with you. Visit FountainTire.com today. Every goal, every Selly. The place to cheer on your favorite team is Selly's Sports Bar and Lounge. Never a bad seat in the house with all games on tons of big screens. And Selly's menu, top shelf. Plus, check out the game night food and drink features. And don't miss the excitement of Oilers watch parties all season long. Experience Selly's Sports Bar and Lounge at all 3 Century Casino locations: Edmonton, St. Albert, and Century Mile.
Every day is game day at Century Casino.
Does your bank do local? We do. When you bank with Vision Credit Union, you're banking with a rural Albertan cooperative that cares about the community where you live. There's no question. We actively support our rural communities at the local level through charitable donations, volunteerism, local team and event sponsorships, and by returning millions in profit shares to our members every year. Does your bank do that? We do local. Bank with Vision Credit Union. VisionCU.ca.
Portions of this hour brought to you by CanTorque. We offer sale, rental, repair, and calibration of hydraulic, pneumatic, and battery-powered torque wrenches, stud tensioners, and flange maintenance equipment. Order today at CanTorque.com.
This is Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Here's Jason Gregor.
Brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca.
Just after 3 o'clock. How are you? Welcome back to Jason Gregor Show, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Thanks, as always, for sharing parts of your day with us. We very much appreciate it, whether you're listening, whether you're watching, maybe you're doing both. It's good. We like it. Oilers, of course, in St. Louis tonight. Take on the Blues. They can get that stench of last night's game off of them quickly. That players always say, after a bad game, you want to play again right away. So we'll see if it's true. The Oilers, if you're looking for a positive, in games that the Oilers have lost by 5 or more goals, the next game, they're 2-0. So dare to dream, Oiler fans. Dare to dream. So there you have it. They lost 9-1 to Colorado. Then they had a shutout the next game. They lost 8-3 to Columbus. 8-3 to Dallas. And they beat Columbus the next day. So we shall see how it goes. Looking at some other Oilers stuff. Of course, only lineup change tonight we're expecting is Connor Ingram in goal for the Edmonton Oilers. As, hey, they got to play better defense in front of Ingram. There's no question. But their goalie's going to need to make a few saves too. Like, they probably would have lost 5-2 last night, right? If Jari has a good game, right? He wasn't going to stop everything. Let's be realistic here. I'm not blaming the game on the goalie, but when it's 10 straight games, in his last 10 starts, he's allowed 41 goals. And he's got a minus 11.4 goals saved above expected in that time. Worst in the NHL in his last 10 starts. So he's got to be better. Yeah, the Oilers' defense can be better, sure. But if you think that Jari is immune to any sort of criticism, like, sorry, can't do it. Can't do it. He just needs a bounce back game. He needs to have one. Like, I actually thought the Colorado game was going to be the jumpstart for him, but did not. It's like that sheep. Remember that video that's online where there's the sheep and there's the big trench and the sheep's in the trench and the farmer comes out and he helps him out of the trench and the sheep goes running, boing, boing, boom, right back in the trench. Well, that's kind of what I thought. I'm like, hey, look, Jari got a hand out here. He's looking good. He's back on the road. Doot, doot, boom, right back into the ditch. So it's kind of what it reminded me of. You thought he was going to get, and sometimes a good turnaround just takes one big save, one good period, and all of a sudden you're on the road to recovery. Not the case. Now, the Oilers didn't help him, but still, I don't think he helped himself either. So it's a bad combination right now. I don't know when he's going to start next. The Oilers did make a move today. They've moved Colton Dock to LTIR, and they've called up Max Jones. So there you have it. So Doc is the only one. So they got about $300K in space right now. So people have asked, hey, could they send Jari down for Pickard? So right now they've got 300. So if you move down, they'd have 1.15 in cap space, and then they could call up Pickard. Yeah, I think that would work, right? I think in theory it would work. I'd have to do the math. So we'll see. Anyway, we welcome in Wanye Gretz to the show. Do you think the Oilers can ever find their defensive game this year?
It was terrifying, that game against Dallas. Anything was possible. I felt like at any moment, on any shift, on any shot, the Stars could score. Felt very little stability watching that game. 7 times lighting the lamp, like, oof. I don't know. At the risk of making you repeat yourself, the defense definitely needs to play better, but like Jari needs to have a couple of those back.
I don't know if he let in a bad goal, but I also don't think he made a great save. Now, hey, that was it. The third goal off the post and off his skate and in. Goalies will tell you, hey man, I gave him the post because that's not the net, right? But it went off the inside, hits his leg, go in. Once it hits the post and goes off his skate and in, I don't think he's going to stop that once it's behind him. And he let it hit the post, so I don't know. Jamie Benn, the 6th goal comes down. That's probably the one where I'm like, you know what? Probably could have made a save there. But like I said, maybe he saves 1 or 2. It's still 5-2. Like, it's not. The Oilers never really deserve to be in that game.
No. 2-0 in the bounce back game. That's a good silver lining statistic. I appreciate that stat of the day. That's the way we got to think. We got to think positive. We got to build back.
Well, you got to try to find something, right? Now, the Oilers, I will say this year, they haven't had extended losing streaks. And the thing, if they win tonight, this is a really good road trip.
3-1 the road trip.
If they win this tonight, it's a really good road trip. Yep. It's sandwiched in with a dud, but whatever. If you lose 7-2 or lose 4-3, you still lost. So, you know what? They can look and say, hey, they didn't really have to expend a ton of energy last night. right? They do actually, in an odd way, have the travel advantage because St. Louis had to come from Carolina, which is almost twice as far of a flight than Dallas to St. Louis. And it's funny to me that the Oilers are on a road trip, 4 games, and from Vegas all the way to Vegas to Colorado, Dallas to St. Louis, they've flown less, almost twice, 2 times as fewer kilometers as St. Louis because St. Louis was in Anaheim on Sunday when the Oilers were in Vegas. Then they went to St. Louis. Then they went to Carolina and back to St. Louis. Way more. So in theory, the Oilers should have a fatigue advantage. Not saying that that's the case, but, McDavid played under 18 minutes last night. So did Draisaitl. No forward played over 18 on the back end. Bouchard still played over 20, but, that was it. Ekholm played under 18. So they were able to limit the minutes of some of their players. So they could be maybe a little bit fresher. Every forward played over 11 minutes last night. So maybe if you're looking for some silver lining, Oiler fans, that might be it.
What were you thinking when Connor was mixing it up?
Yeah, no problem.
Love it.
Yeah, don't call it a fight, though, okay? People, it's not a fight.
He got poked in the eye.
It's not a fight. It's not a fight.
Poked in the eye.
There's no punches, right? They were wrestling. It's not a fight. It's like these people, look at the brawl in San Jose at the end of the game. That's not a brawl. It's called a scrum, right? We have to use proper terms. We're not doing it. We do it in society all the time. You can't use the rape word anymore. Now no, we're not doing it in hockey. A fight is a fight. Gloves are off. You're punching. That's a fight. Guys in a scrum reaching over and his hand touches your face, not a fight.
Hand touch your face, hand pokes your eye.
It's not a fight. Stop it. So, not a fight. Just like it wasn't a brawl in San Jose. It's a scrum. People need to do it right. And if I get that some of these sites like Bleacher Report, we got to get people to watch. No, call it what it is. Don't lie. Because honestly, once you do it once, unfollow. Not following them. So, it doesn't do you any good. Stop lying to people. Just tell them the truth. Right? So. The other thing, people have asked about Tristan Jarry. Can he go down for Pickard? He cannot. The only players in the NHL are eligible who are on deadline day are eligible to be sent down. You can't send down any other veteran player. So Tristan Jarry, Oiler fans, you're right. Hey, send him down. Can't do it. And the Oilers don't have the cap space to call up Calvin Pickard. So there you go. In case you're wondering, can Jarry go down and find his game? He cannot. It's too late. So, like a lot of other goalies, he's going to have to try to find it in practice. And then when the next game comes, just try to build off of it and get some momentum. That's the only thing they can do. So, hey, Greg, do you think McDavid will ever drop the gloves and fight like he did in junior? Well, I think when he fought in junior, broke his hand. So he might be leery of it. But remember, Sidney Crosby fought once a year for the first 10 years of his career. 1 year, I think, even had 2 tilts. So McDavid might get annoyed enough one time. Heck, even Wayne Gretzky fought once against Neil Broughton. It didn't go very well, and Gretzky laughs about it, but he tried it. So, McDavid, it would probably take him a lot. But I wouldn't rule it out. I actually think McDavid's odds of fighting are higher than Leon's.
Really?
Leon's never come close, really, right? And that's not a bad thing. He just hasn't. So I would say if I had to pick, if you pick me, who do I think has a better chance? Both are low, but I'd probably give McDavid a higher chance of scrapping than Draisaitl. Draisaitl is just I don't think he has any interest in it, which is totally fine, right? He'll at least get into scrums, but even there, it's not his thing, right? He'll chirp and he'll get engaged. He plays hard. He loves a reverse hit on guys. Well, not like he do a lot, but he uses it. But fighting, no, I'd probably give Connor a higher chance of fight than Draisaitl.
You don't think Leon could be antagonized into fighting? He's so grumpy.
Well, I know. I actually think he's really strong. He'd probably be fine at it, but just don't think it's his thing. No. It's the one thing Nuge is better at than both of them. Nuge can throw him way better than both of them. If there was ever a chirp fest in the room, I'd be like Nuge, say, hey, tell you two, drop the mitts, zip it. And they'd have no comeback. That would end it right there. You're chirping. Just be like, hey, do you want me to knock you out? Because I can. You can't. That'd be the end of the discussion. Obviously, they're having a little bit of fun with it. I like this one. Hey, Gregor, the Oilers' power play is too predictable. Plug center to stop cross pass at Draisaitl. Need to use other options to get attention elsewhere. Red Dog. They're 45% in their last 12 games, man. What are you talking about? It's one game. Too predictable. Sorry. Come on. Let's not make unrealistic statements. It's too predictable. It's too predictable, yet no one can stop him. It's over 40%. Here, let's be real. There's lots of issues on the team. The power play had one game where they didn't look good. And it was really because Draisaitl gave the puck away 3 times. It wasn't because the cross-seam pass. That wasn't the issue, right? They actually, look at Colorado. He actually had 2 really good looks from that cross-seam pass. So, disagree. Not too predictable. We'll come back. Andy Strickland joins us on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. We're the #1 dealer in the world. Just kidding. If we were, would you care? We're the #1 dealer in Canada. Still kidding. You probably still don't care. Tell you what you will care about, our March Madness sale going on right now. Discounts up to $30,000. And the grand opening of our Autoplex, a massive indoor showroom. No self-proclaimed titles, no iPads, no trips to Vegas or hockey jerseys, just a really good deal. Stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
Action Electrical Solar Team is now making a play for sustainability and savings. They're specialists in powering up for a greener future.
That's the strategy, designing and installing high-efficiency solar panels. They're helping homes and businesses combat rising utility costs by harnessing the power of the sun.
A smart move for efficiency and the environment. Hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
Hey, Edmonton, did you know a local Play Alberta winner scored over $500,000 on Mega Jackpots Ocean Bells? Think about the season tickets you could lock down with that kind of cash. From major casino winners every hour to jackpots worth millions and hundreds of popular games to money that stays in the province, there's never been a better time to sign up for Play Alberta. Download the app today to get started with casino, sports, and lottery all in one app. Must be 18 plus to play. When you gamble, use your game sense. Are you looking for safe and professional transportation solutions for your group events and sports teams? Look no further than Silent Rides, Alberta's premier charter bus company. Whether your group is big or small, Silent Rides has you covered. We offer state-of-the-art motor coaches, first-class service, and affordable rates. Get your quote today. For more information and to request a quote, contact sales at 877-748-0991 or visit silentrides.ca.
Who's that working on the underground utilities over there? All-Star Construction, that's who. What about the street lighting? Yep, All-Star Construction. And the directional drilling, hydrovacing, neighborhood renewal, and telecommunication work? Yep. Since 2009, All-Star Construction has been doing all that and more, shaping and building Edmonton communities for land developers all around Edmonton. That's what All-Star Construction is all about.
Don't let equipment failure stop you cold. At AWS Welding in Nisku, our factory-trained service techs are on hand for all welding equipment repairs. We're a full warranty center for Miller, Lincoln, and ESAB. And we service all makes and models. Proper, regular service extends the life of your gear and keeps it running at peak capacity. Don't wait for a breakdown. Book your service appointment today at aws.ca. AWS Welding. Our welding keeps you working.
The job isn't done until the last load is hauled, and having a semi-trailer out of commission is not an option. Whether replacing or adding to your convoy, Edmonton Trailer has a huge inventory of new and used semi-trailers, trusted by the gravel, logging, oil field, fluids, and freight industries. Find a trailer right for you online or at one of their 3 locations. For sales, service, parts, rental, and finance, when you're in it for the long haul, Edmonton Trailer.
Edmonton's go-to station for all things sports is Sports 1440.
From Low Tide to Kevin Carriott and Jason Gregor, we deliver the latest on your favorite teams.
Tune in 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
To Sports 1440.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Japa Machinery. Japa is digging deep on their 50-year history of supporting Alberta's construction industry with their line of special edition blackout excavators. Visit japamachinery.com for all the details.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
We continue on Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram. We had a little switch here. Andy Strickland will join us at 4 o'clock now instead of this segment. So we'll switch him and Tater up a little bit. And Cons, you want to pick a winner for the sticks competition? We'll announce that winner, and then we'll do the main draw for the grand prize coming up in the next hour. Meanwhile, got a lot of texts, 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. The Edmonton Oilers, as we've had a lot of people asking, so we'll just clarify it again. So they did make a move today. Doc was put on LTIR. They called up Jones. So they've got an extra forward. Maybe he'll be in the lineup tonight. I'm not sure when he left because they were in Texas. So he could just join the team from there. So that would be pretty easy. They're in Texas today. So he's close by. Maybe he goes in. I don't know. Like, was there a forward last night that you would take out of the lineup for Jones? Probably not. And I guess people wondering about Jari for Pickard. Can't do it. You can't send a player to the minors now who wasn't on the AHL roster prior to the trade deadline. That's just kind of the rule. So I haven't looked into the rule about a conditioning stint, if that's allowed or not. So that would maybe, but the problem is a conditioning stint wouldn't matter because they don't have any cap room to bring up Pickard unless you sent Jari down on a conditioning stint and Max Jones and then recalled Calvin Pickard. You could do Pickard for Jones and carry 3 goalies. You could do that. But you can't do Jari for Pickard. Because even if Jari's on a conditioning stint, he's still in the minors. So then you still have to send someone else down to get up Pickard. So there you have it. Hey, guys. Now, Jari Jari can go to the minors. He was sent to the minors last year. He doesn't have a no movement clause. So that's not an issue. But he can't be sent to the minors right now. So it's just how it goes. Hey, Greg's, looking at Seattle and San Jose, just curious, focusing away from the Oilers for a second, which one of those two teams do you think gets in? Good question. Well, you look at the Sharks. So the Sharks are currently now in 8th place. They're 1 point up in Seattle. They're 1 point up in the Kings. And they only have 1 game in hand on those teams, but they have like 3 games in hand on the Oilers and the Vegas Golden Knights and Utah. So, they could climb up higher. The Kraken have lost 4 in a row, the worst possible time of the year. I was surprised the Kraken did nothing at the deadline. Now, remember, they tried to get Panarin. We know that report came out. They even offered him $14 million. He said no. So I give him credit. They tried that. But then it was almost like, well, we tried him, so we're not going to get anybody else. And I'm like, all you have to do is look at Buffalo. Buffalo made a deal. They thought they had Parayko. He says, no, I'm not going there. Fine. They pivoted, made another trade. Seattle added nothing. And having talked to a few of the Carolina players who they were kind of perturbed that their team did nothing because they feel, hey, we're a really good team. And their team really didn't add anything, especially a second-line center, like hello, Braden Shen. So I could imagine what the Seattle players would feel like. They're like, God, we need some help here. We're close. We're in a playoff spot at the time of the deadline, and they did nothing. So I think that, that can have a negative effect on your team a little bit. Like, what, did they not believe in us? What the hell's going on here? So we'll see. Let's get to the 2-minute warning brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling. Home with no payments, no interest for 1 year on your furnace. Stay warm all winter. LegacyHeating.ca. Cam Tate, longtime journalist in town. Cam, born with cerebral palsy. He's in a wheelchair. We don't have it yet? Oh, well. Tater, wake up. What are you doing? So There we go.
He's handcrafting it for your expertise, I suppose. You're reading today.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, normally you should have it way earlier. Did you fall asleep?
Possible.
Did you blow a wheel out there today somewhere? Get stuck in the snow? Tater, what's happening? Let us know. So there you go. That's okay. We got a lot of other texts, few other things. Hey, Gregor, I don't care what Shaq says. How can anyone say that SGA is better than Jokic? Well, Shaq just said it. So how can anyone say it? He just said it. Jokic is a phenomenal player. I don't think there's much discount on that. But I don't think he is as good defensively as SGA. Probably. Now, they're very different positions, of course. Right? You look at SGA, like they're different players. Right? SGA's teams won. Denver's had good teams, not as good, clearly. But like SGA, they're different in how they go about it. Right? Like Jokic, you don't see a big guy move and distribute the ball and do a lot of the things that he does. That's what makes him impressive. It's hard for me to say who's better per se. I just think they're different, right? But it's interesting that a big man like Shaq went for the non-big man in SGA over Jokic. So I think it's a great debate, but I think you can find an argument as to why you would like both, and that's fine. But last year and this year, I think it's hard to say that Jokic has been better last year and this year. Right? I'm not sure he can. But Jokic is like, he's good because, he has the triple-double and he has the assists. Like, he's a big guy. He's going to have more rebounds. He's close to the rim more often. I mean, like, that's just kind of simple math to me. But his assists are really what separates him. Like, he's unreal. I think there's 2 guys in the NBA this year that are averaging 10 apples a game, him and Cunningham. You can double check that. But last I looked, I think they're the only 2. So he is he's a pretty special player. There's no question. We actually had someone trying to tell me that Wembanyama is overrated. I'm like, I don't know, because people have said he's really good, but no one's put him in the best player in the league conversation yet because he hasn't put up the numbers that suggest he's there. He's a very special player. I don't think you can argue that. It's hard for me to say the guy's overrated because I haven't seen anybody say, hey, he's best player in the league, top 3 players in the league. I don't think anyone said that yet because you got Jokic, you got Doncic, you got Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Right now, people probably say they're the 3 best. And after that, kind of different opinion on who. But yeah, I wouldn't call Wemby overrated. I know, Wanye, you're big in the NBA all of a sudden. So,
well, I love Wemby.
Yeah,
he can do some amazing things, dunking without jumping, that sort of thing. I can see people saying there's a lot of hype around Wemby, but it'd be tough to say that he hasn't delivered.
Yeah.
He's gotten better every year. Like, he's come back strong. You see this offseason, he was training with monks and stuff.
Yeah, and he came back from a pretty scary injury too, right? So, hey, Greggs, what about the Seattle did add McMahon? Fair. You're right. They added Bobby McMahon at the last minute and didn't give up much, but I don't know. When you're going from Panarin to Bobby McMahon, I just don't feel like it was enough. Like, how many minutes is Bobby McMahon going to play in Seattle? So that, to me, time on ice for certain guys is almost more important. Like when you're talking third line, that's why I think a number 5 defenseman has more of a chance to impact the game for you than a third line winger. They play more minutes, right? Like they're on the ice more. They're in other situations, and they especially bringing in specialists. Like I hope he helps their team, but so far he hasn't at all. So they needed to. I look at Seattle and I felt like, and I argued that they probably shouldn't have done anything. So because I don't think they're that good. Like they to me are the epitome of passive as an organization from day one. If you look at their strategy at the expansion draft, it's been all about future all the time. And I know they made the playoffs early, and that seemed to probably, in a way, be like the worst thing for them because I think they thought they were better than they were. Like they had the perfect storm that year. And, like, it's not a bad thing. It's great that it happened. Good for them. They got to the playoffs. They went around. Awesome. But that was clearly the outlier for the Seattle Kraken. They can't score. They haven't improved their scoring. And like you watch Jamie Alexiak, like that guy's going to get paid huge in free agency because there's no free agents. Some GMs are like, God, this guy isn't worth $6 million, but we got all this money. There's no one out there available. Let's go get Jamie Alexiak. So Could be interesting. Hey, Gregor, what about the playoffs? Could Picker be called up then and sit Jari? Yes. But at that point, is it going to matter? Right? Like I said, the salary cap in the playoffs is only your 20-man roster on game day. And the Oilers right now today, because Janmark's in LTR, but Janmark's not going to play in the playoffs anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So if the Oilers, your extra defenseman and forward, like Max Jones is $1 million, right? And on the back end, Emberson, he's out. Let's say he's not playing. Well, he's $1 million. So they got $2 extra million anyway. So sitting Jari, you could do it, but it wouldn't be for cap purposes. It would just be because you thought Picker would be a better backup. And I don't know what they're good like. But what are they going to do then? I guess they could call Unger up from the ECHL to be the backup in the AHL. You could do that. But yeah, the only way Pickard's coming up here is if they move a forward down. Just so you know. I got to get 100% confirmation on the conditioning stint. Now, first of all, Jari would have to agree to the conditioning stint. Not sure he would. So let's keep that in mind. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back. And hey, it's a new season. But has much really changed? We'll find out next on The Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
It's Truck Month at Wolf GMC Buick, and we know trucks. And we have the best deals of the year right now. Some have 0% for 4 years. We have 0% for 6 years. That's on our #1 selling GMC Sierra half-ton crew cab, or the Elevation, the AT4, or Denali. Yep, 0% for 72 months. And Costco members get an extra discount on some of our SUVs. Pop in today and drive away smiling. Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is the #1 heating and cooling company for people who want heating and cooling, because you'll save a bundle by bundling. Then you can use hot, cold, hot, cold. Come on, thermostat, do what you're told. Turn up the heat, turn up the cold, to the vents start pushing out tornadoes. Bundle my furnace with some AC. Gonna get a new from Legacy. Oh, yeah. Save a bundle when you bundle your new furnace and AC from Legacy today. Plus no payments and no interest for 1 year. That's how you build your legacy. Legacy Heating and Cooling.
With the lead up to the playoffs underway, players are definitely stepping up their game.
And the fans are doing the same. Simple snacks like chips and dip may work at the front half of the season, but now more and more fans are rocking the Wilhauk beef jerky for game time get-togethers.
Just make sure you bring enough for everyone if you want to be invited back for the playoffs.
Make your next hockey game day a Will Hockey game day with Wilhauk beef jerky, only available with salad.
Whether you're a craft beer connoisseur or more of a wine aficionado, there's always something new to discover at Sherbrooke Liquor, a unique, family-owned, independent liquor store. The selection, incredible. The non-alcohol section is also very impressive. Sherbrooke Liquor, expert, knowledgeable staff with a passion for unique finds. More than just a liquor store, we're a community. Alberta's best, the one and only Sherbrooke Liquor. Wine, spirits, and oodles of beer. Visit SherbrookeLiquor.com.
From the locker room to your radio, Sports 1440 is Edmonton's sports leader. Real talk, big personalities, and your texts. It's interactive. It's fun. It's where Edmonton talks sports. Sports 1440.
At Leading Edge Physiotherapy, healing doesn't have to feel heavy, because in our SwimX aquatic therapy pools, you literally float your way to recovery. Whether you're dealing with arthritis, back pain, joint injuries, post-surgical rehab, chronic pain, balance issues, mobility challenges, or just feeling a little creaky, warm water and gentle resistance have your back, your knees, and your hips. Trusted by pro sports teams and rehab hospitals, our SwimX pools help you move sooner, hurt less, and recover faster. So take the load off. Let the water do the work. Life shouldn't hurt. LeadingEdgePhysio.com.
I'm Colin Livingston, president of CanTorque. CanTorque has always been a forward-thinking company, but now that we've turned 25, I can't help but take a minute to take a look back. Thank you to everyone that's been with us along the way.
Hey, hon, I'm getting expressions and images to frame my hockey card collection in the man cave.
Perfect. I'll come with you and bring our wedding photos. For sports memorabilia and family treasures, think Expressions and Images, your local custom framer since 91. You name it, we frame it.
Whether it's a house, a gas station, an apartment complex, or any new building going up above ground, the work always starts below ground. And that's where you'll find GS Construction. GS Construction ensures the first step, relocating utilities, installing new ones, and building the underground systems, is taken to make progress possible. But the work can't start without you. GS Construction is currently on the lookout for experienced top men, pipe layers, and operators. To apply, visit gsconstruction.ca.
Some deals are too good to be real. Not at Tim's. For just $8.99, get a hearty loaded wrap with wedges and Coke. A real meal. And for $8.99, a real deal. Try it at Tim's. Plus tax. At participating restaurants in Canada for a limited time. Terms apply.
Flea and tick season is here. Scratch and save at Pet Value with Canine Advantage 2 and Advantage 2. Scratch to win up to $50 off your purchase. Hit your card at your local Pet Value store before April 1st.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Papa John's. This leading edge physio for weekend warriors, professional athletes, kids playing soccer, to grandparents in the garden, rotator cuff tears and tendonitis, just post-surgical knees and hips. We fix your body. Life shouldn't hurt. LeadingEdgePhysio.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Positive Friday continues on. How are you? Jason Gregor, Wanye Gretz, Connor Halling. Cougar also here. Of course, Oilers in St. Louis tonight to take on the Blues. The Oilers have made a move today. Colton Dock, bad news for the local guy. He's been moved to LTIR. And the Oilers have recalled Max Jones to join the team. No word if Jones is going to play tonight or not. No, I guess it would depend if there's a forward that the coach thinks should come out. Every forward actually played almost 12 minutes last night for them. They still only have the 6th defenseman, Emerson, back in Edmonton. I guess the good news is they didn't move Emerson to LTIR, so they don't think it's going to be that serious for him. And from everybody asking about the goalie move, Tristan Jarry's not eligible to be going down to the minors because he wasn't on the AHL roster prior to the trade deadline. So he can't go down. Now, they could call up Pickard if they sent a skater down, like Jones, for instance, but probably don't see that happening anytime soon. Now, let's get to the racing report brought to you by CanTorque, made in Canada, made for Canada, where extreme isn't theoretical. Find your solution at CanTorque.com. As we welcome in Colin Livingston once again. And I'm guessing Livingston's in a better mood than all the racers because I'm just going to read some quotes from the F1 drivers in regards to the new change. Now, Max Verstappen, I feel empty. It's not fun. It goes against instincts. Lando Norris, we have gone from the best cars to the worst. Alonso, a chef can drive the car. Leclerc, it's not the most fun car for qualifying. Hamilton, it goes completely against what Formula One is, which is to go deep to the total offense. And Colin, you talked about this before the season started that, man, the drivers aren't going to like this.
Well, it's Positive Friday. So it's really tough to argue with these guys. I mean, to be fair, some of those are slightly out of context, but not entirely. That, you know, Lewis is kind of flip-flopped and after the race said that, you know, he had a lot of fun on track. And there's a lot of people talking about how, oh, there's so many passes. But
there was more passes, I will say that. It's true.
They're complete BS passes. Passing is supposed to be where a driver has the faster car, more grip, or is better under brakes.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you get to that point. We named and rebranded my go-kart company Full Send Karting. When you can throw a full send where you see somebody, you get a little draft, you know you're a little bit quicker, and you just hope you can stop your car before you see Jesus. It's the greatest feeling in the world. That's what racing's about. What's happening with these Formula One regs now, these guys are on straightaways. They've still got hundreds of feet until the braking zone, and they're just running out of power. The Mercedes.
And for those who don't understand, it's because now there's a limit, right? On the battery power.
It's 50% of the power comes from the internal combustion engine, what they call the ICE. 50% comes from the battery. But the batteries get depleted so quickly that before you get to the end of the straightaway, these cars, like again, the Mercedes, I can't remember the number. I think I sent you the graphic, but
yeah, it was 51 kilometers an hour loss.
Dropped before they hit the brakes because they start running out. So if the guy behind you has slightly more battery, he just drives around, gets in front, but then his battery starts running out. And then like we saw Leclerc and George Russell like easily had the best car, but they just went like whoop, whoop, whoop. Like, and yes, they're making passes, but again, they're complete. They're rubbish.
They're
passes.
manufactured.
Yes.
What was the point of the rule change?
So we've talked about this a little bit over the winter, but what they're trying to do is they're trying to placate the manufacturers. So, like from the automotive side of things, so much of what happens in racing ends up in street vehicles, and the trend has been since 2014 to split the power between internal combustion, which obviously emits exhaust, and to mitigate some of that by using electric power. And they've just gone out of control with it because as they've developed this hybrid technology, basically, the biofuel industry is kind of caught up, and it's possible now. I can't say zero because I'm not an engineer and I'm not an environmentalist, but they can make an internal combustion engine. They could actually replace this whole system right now with V8 technology, V10, V12, go back to the older style engines, the engines that like people didn't know how great these engines were until they were gone. These were the engines that just screamed. If you go back and watch old video clips of Michael Schumacher or Alonso or any of these guys, these engines were just brutally high pitched. They were unbelievably awesome. And now I've heard these, since the turbo hybrid era, it sounds like a herd of flatulent elephants. Like they don't have that sound anymore. And, you're not driving the car to the limit of adhesion. You're not driving to the last possible second to maximize your lap. You've got to play all these games where like, well, if I deploy my battery now, I'm not going to have it on the exit of the corner. And the newest thing is this, the ECU, the computer that kind of controls it is essentially running on the same principle as AI. It takes your inputs from the previous lap and then adjusts how the battery gets released on the next lap. And then it adjusts again. So sometimes, Oscar Piastri on the out lap in Australia didn't really do anything wrong, got to like turn 4, just clipped the curb. And what he tried to do is what, we generally call short shifting. So this was just warm up. This is just as they're driving around to grid. They're not racing at all. But short shifting is when you don't run the engine to its peak. You pull the gear earlier so that you keep the RPM level lower so you don't spin the tires. Well, when he grabbed the gear, he hit the curb, which kind of upset the car a little bit. And then the ECU's like, hey, we got all this battery and it just deployed. It broke the end and he smashed into the wall. And this is just on the formation lap. So there's a lot of room for improvement with these rules. They're supposed to be in place for 6 years, but it seems more and more likely that they can possibly get out of this within the first 3 years. We'll see what happens. I mean, Mercedes has been on fire. They supply 8 of the cars and they're looking to buy into another team. So they've got a lot of say, they've got a lot of swing. So they're going to be pretty resistant because they're just absolutely kicking the teeth out of everyone right now. But again, we haven't even got through race 2 yet.
Yeah.
So there's lots to change.
Very much so. We've already had the FP1 and sprint qualifying for this weekend. And, Gasly and Alpine beats Red Bull Racing in that. So that kind of shows you maybe because, they're obviously with Mercedes and kind of illustrates now, Max in a race, still when you get onto the race, he's still, I think, going to be pretty good. But what were your thoughts quickly though, before we move to Indy on Arvid Lindblad and his first debut in F1?
I mean, he definitely opening some eyes, but all of these, for the most part, all of these quote unquote kids that are moving into F1 are so good. They're so like they've been, living in the simulators. They get to learn these things. And what's great for the rookies is they don't have to unlearn anything. Like they maybe did, some practice sessions. They maybe did, some simulator time with the old regulations. But as far as actual driving, they're getting into a new car. They're learning new systems for the first time, where guys like, Alonso, Hamilton, Sainz, these guys have been around through multi-generations, where they've gone from, V8, V10 engines to the turbo hybrid, to the this, to the that, to that last, ground effect. Every year they have to kind of, and not every year, but every regulation, they have to relearn everything, where these rookies, they just get to jump in and start fresh. So great outing for most of the rookies.
Let's move to IndyCar, and Mick Schumacher caught your eyes.
Yeah. You can never do the things that a driver does without a good car. Like, Mick qualified 4th last weekend in Phoenix, never raced an oval. They did a test session with him over the winter. He said he loved the oval program, which is pretty cool. Just for Wanye, Mick is Michael's son.
Yes.
Michael Schumacher.
Of course.
Yep. So now
is he?
20.
All right. So he's early in the game.
He's gone through a Formula One career. Spent 2 years in Formula One with Haas, and then they didn't renew his contract, and nobody's jumping up. So he's moved over to IndyCar full time this year. Didn't have the greatest race, but learning how to race on an oval is like totally different from learning how to qualify on an oval. Like when you're single car, you don't have the effect of, the aerodynamics. You don't see how aggressive these guys are on the starts. But he handled himself well. I mean, he did a lot better than, some of the veterans, guys like Will Power. I think more and more though, that the more I look back, the more that a couple of these guys, it seems like their spotters were, taking naps in the middle of the race.
Well, it did seem like he missed communicating to Paulo, did he not?
Well, there was one issue with Paulo's spotter. Didn't let him know that I think it was Rasmussen was coming up on the outside, and they made contact. And then later on, or no, it was I can't remember who it was with Paulo, but then Rasmussen, who was leading, was trying to pass Will Power coming out of turn 2, and Will spotter just didn't let him know that he was making a run. You don't expect drivers to pass on the outside very often, but Rasmussen is easily the most aggressive driver in the series right now, and he'll put his car anywhere. That also shows that he has faith that the spotters are doing their job. So, when you're, just to really paint the picture, when you're coming out of a corner on an oval, you're looking left. Like you're not looking to the outside as you're making a left-hand turn.
Yeah.
You're spotting the exit and you're looking at where you're about to drive. So there's no way Will would have been looking in his right-hand mirror.
Okay.
That's what you need your spotter there. Like sometimes a spotter, and I can say from experience, you don't want to give your driver bad news. You don't want to let them know that they're going to be passed, but it's not your job to be, emotional or to protect your driver, from their emotional state. You just have to relay the information that's out there. So, I've listened to Alex long enough. I've never spotted for him in IndyCar, and thank goodness, because it's so difficult and things happen so fast that I sat in on debriefing sessions after Indianapolis, like after the Indy 500, where Alex basically ripped the guys to pieces. He's like, you can't tell me when the car is one car length behind. Like, we're traveling at 240 miles an hour. They'll be past me before you even finish the radio message. Like, you've got to let me know 10 cars back, 5 cars back, what lane it looks like they're, it's not to blame them, but you've got to give that information so the driver can adjust. And with Will's case, he just didn't have a chance to do anything. He drove up on the regular line, and, unfortunately that ended or hurt Will's day, and that really, caused Rasmussen to lose the shot at the win.
And Indy's racing a brand new track this weekend outside AT&T Stadium, and it's got like a massive back straight on the back. They'll probably get over 200 kilometers, I would think, in that.
Miles.
Miles.
I watched the first 70% of the practice session before I had to get over here. I didn't see how quick they were going. Single car, they were hitting almost 190.
Yeah. So that's over 300 kilometers.
It's booking, and it is bumpy. Like I saw I saw the track map, and you don't see the elevation and you don't really see anything. But once I started watching, like they showed some in-car and some, some onboard stuff, and holy moly, like it's not bumpy like when the guys were at, San Jose or Baltimore where they were jumping over train tracks. But at those speeds, when they start getting into packs and they get the benefit of the draft, it's not unthinkable that they're going to be hitting 200, which is, 315 kilometers an hour, give or take.
Yeah.
And then into guys were driving off the track because it's so bumpy. If you waited just a whisker too long, you'd kind of hit a bump and your feet are on the brakes, they would land and the rears would lock, and these guys were spinning out. And our old buddy Stingray Rob already did some damage to his car. So
Stingray Rob, we like it. So go Stingray. Awesome stuff, Colin. Enjoy the weekend of racing, and we will chat with you next week.
Have a nice day.
Yeah, there you go. There's a positive Friday. Livingston here on Sports 1440. Let's get to the Con Man Sports 1440 update, brought to you by Fountain Tire. Fountain Tire can meet all your car needs and more with their digital vehicle report. They don't just tell you what your car needs, they'll show you. Book your appointment, fountaintire.com today.
The Sports 1440 update.
Game day Oilers Blues from St. Louis. Puck drop just after 6. Our pregame coverage coming your way at 5 with Andrew Walker, Donovan Paulson, and Landon Ferraro. Also tonight we got the Islanders and Kings meeting at 5 o'clock. In the association, Raptors host the Suns just after 5:30. Pistons taking on the Grizz. Knicks in Indiana. Rockets up against the Pelicans. The Jazz in Portland, and the Warriors will host the Timberwolves. Day 2 at the Players' Championship. Xander Schauffele and Ludwig Oberg atop the leaderboard at 10 under par. Cameron Young, 9 under. Corey Connors, -8. Other Canadians, Taylor Pendrith at -1. Nick Taylor even. And Sudarshan Yelamaraju at +1. All should make the cut. Looks like Mackenzie Hughes and E.J. Ewert will not make the cut. PCHL, Saints will host Cranbrook, while the Crusaders taking on Kelowna. Both those games getting going at 7 o'clock. In the AG, you've got 5 games, including Devon and Whitecourt. Olds heading to Canmore, and the Storm take on the Thunder. And the PWHL, Seattle and Minnesota at 6. Pandas volleyball will be in action this weekend at the U Sports Championship, taking on number 8 seed Montreal at 9 o'clock tonight. Semis go tomorrow with a final on Sunday. And the Paralympics, Canada sledge hockey team advances to the gold medal game after beating China 4-2. Coming up in hour 3 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll be joined by Andy Strickland to talk some Blues. Craig Button from the NHL on TSN will join us to take a look around the NHL, and we'll ask 5 questions. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440, Stingray Radio Station. CKJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
Booster Juice is going crazy for hazelnuts.
No, not crazy. Nuts.
Booster Juice is going bananas for hazelnuts.
I mean, there are bananas in smoothies, but that's not the point.
Banana juice is booster for hazelnuts.
What? Just stop.
Booster Juice is going nuts for hazelnut. Introducing the Nutty Monkey Smoothie, Holy Hazelnut Acai Bowl, and Nutty Booster Ball, all made with rich, creamy hazelnut spread. Try them today, only at Booster Juice. Canadian born, blending since 1999.
Wondering what you can afford? Let Go Auto do the math with our free car loan calculator. No pressure, no awkward convos, just quick answers on your budget and payments. Bad credit? No credit? We got you. Text CHECK to 780-777-7777. That's CHECK to 780 all 7. Find out what you qualify for and start shopping with confidence. Go Auto. Drive what you love with payments that make sense.
Craving a dining experience that rises above the rest? Head to Summit Restaurant in the Silent Ice Center, just minutes from South Edmonton Common. Savor exceptional house-made pizza, delectable entrees, and expertly crafted cocktails in a stylish, modern atmosphere. Perfect for a casual meal or a special night out. Summit offers a refined experience where every bite and sip reflects our dedication to quality. Elevate your dining experience. Make Summit Restaurant your destination tonight.
Hot coffee, hotter takes, and the sports stories that matter. Check out Kevin Carriers weekday mornings from 7 to 11 on Edmonton's sports leader, Sports 1440. Be part of the conversation. 833-401-1440.
What if you could hire motivated, safety-trained youth with no risk
and funding to support you. At Careers the Next Generation, we make hiring easy with funded internships across Alberta in trades, IT, forestry, and more. Interns are WCB covered, complete high school accredited safety trained, and arrive ready to contribute from day one. With 42% of RAP students completing their apprenticeship by age 22, you get skilled workers faster. Spots are filling up. Visit careersnextgen.ca today.
Mr. Rooter kinda speaks French.
Je m'appelle Monsieur Rooter. Je suis plombier.
Très bien, Mr. Rooter. Your name is Mr. Rooter, and you are in fact a plombier, a plumber. You are an excellent student.
Au contraire, mon frère, je suis un excellent étudiant. Also, I'm not here for a French lesson. I'm here because someone clogged up the toilets.
Ah, oui, right this way.
For a plumber who speaks your language, call Mr. Rooter.
The Price is Right live at the Brick. Come on down to any Brick location for your chance to win over $300,000 in prizes. They're giving away shopping sprees, mattresses, appliance packages, big screen TVs, and so much more. Plus, this Saturday, play for up to $1,000 off your purchase. Everyone who makes a purchase is a winner. The price is always right at the Brick. The Brick, saving you more. Some conditions apply. See in store for details.
Any project, commercial or residential, when you need metal and you or bent fast, this is the place. Metal Supermarkets. Huge inventory, amazing service, and free parking. Free. That's a pretty big deal when you're saving up for something special. Yep, only 3 more payments and this bad boy's mine. And the 1, and the 2, and Metal Supermarkets, the local convenience stores for... And maybe a little polka too. Southside, West End, metalsupermarkets.com.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Papa John's. Looking for a tasty lunch? Papa John's has you covered. Get a small 2-topping pizza for only $9.99 with code S999 at papajohns.ca. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.
This is Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Here's Jason Gregor.
Brought to you by playalberta.ca.
Just after 4 o'clock on a positive Friday. How you doing? Jason Gregor. Connor Halley, Wanye Gretz, is always brought to you by playalberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website where 100% of the revenue stays right here in the province at playalberta.ca. The Oilers were about 2 hours and a few minutes away from puck drop tonight, taking on the St. Louis Blues. A light night in the National Hockey League, only 2 games. The Kings are in New York to take on the Islanders. Both of those teams battling for playoff spots. Islanders are in a playoff spot. Kings are trying to get in a playoff spot. Meanwhile, the Oilers trying to climb up the standings. Meanwhile, the Blues still believing there's a chance, as they've been the hottest team in the NHL coming out of the Olympic break. They've allowed the fewest goals in the NHL at 1.75 per game. So they feel like, hey, guys, we keep winning. Maybe we can catch San Jose or Seattle. Odds are low, but you never know. Now, Cons, you did the draw, and who is winning our grand prize today, courtesy of McDonald's, which is a signed Connor McDavid jersey, a signed Connor McDavid NHL Star Stick, a $100 McDonald's gift card, and a $100 NHL gift card for jerseys or whatever else you like. Cons, who's our winner?
So Declan has the winner for your show. It is Jordan P.
Jordan P.
And there was 2 prizes. And for Fantasy Frenzy's winner, Daniel M.
Oh, we have 2 winners.
2 winners.
Oh, okay.
Unbelievable package right there.
Well, there you go. Congratulations, gents. It's a positive Friday to you. Now, let's go around the NHL, brought to you by McDonald's. And right now you can get the 7-player mini sticks: McDavid, Matthews, Celebrini, Quinn Hughes, Makar, Montembeault, and Sam Reinhart when you order the NHL Star Stick meal with medium fries and a drink. You can do it with 10-piece McNuggets, Big Mac, McVeggie, or the Hockey Hero Burger, which is 3 Canadian beef patties. That thing is massive. Check it out at McDonald's. As we go to St. Louis, to discuss the surging St. Louis Blues. So you're telling me there's a chance the Blues, red hot defensively, they've been great. Joel Hofer has been on fire since coming out of the Olympic break. He'll get the start tonight. Andy Strickland, beat reporter for the Blues, also a host of the Cam and Strick podcast. And Andy, how you doing, my man?
I'm doing good, Jason. How about you?
Hey, I'm great. Joel Hofer coming out of the break has been, if not the he has been the hottest goalie in the National Hockey League. What has changed for him coming out of this Olympic break?
I mean, this guy has shown this type of ability really since he came into the NHL. Now, I know he's had some games where he hasn't been great, but that's goaltending in the National Hockey League where, you're going to have a rough one here and there. But if you really watch this guy's body of work, going back to last season, even before that, you go back to the American Hockey League, taking Springfield to the Calder Cup final. He and Charlie Lindgren, who's now in Washington, they were a tandem down in Springfield. And Lindgren was basically Hofer's backup, even though Lindgren came up and played some games, but Hofer was young and they were letting him carry the ball, and he was obviously a big prospect for the Blues. This guy is so talented, Jason. I truly believe he's got superstar potential. And for all the Canadian listeners out there, he will, in my opinion, be the starting goaltender for Canada in the next Olympics and potentially even in the World Cup, too. That wouldn't surprise me 2 years from now if he's the guy in the World Cup. So tons of upside, tons of potential. And, that's why, a lot of these rumors with Jordan Binnington kind of get started, and we'll see how those play out. Binnington was incredible last night, Jason, in Carolina. I don't know if you had a chance to see any of those highlights, but he was absolutely unbelievable. Stopped 31 of 32. They had no business being in the game after the first period, and he literally stood on his head. And he's the reason why they won that game. So they've got a two-headed monster in goal. Binnington, since the Olympic break, has been exceptional when you look at his 3 games that he's played in. Look at the save percentage over the course of those 3 games. And now with Hofer, everyone wants you to tank. You know how hard it is to tank? I have no idea how Edmonton got the first overall pick 4 years in a row, Jason. You got to help me out with that, especially when you have goaltending. It's almost impossible to get a top 3 pick in the National Hockey League. So I know some fans want them to keep losing so they can draft as high as possible. But when you have this level of goaltending and still that team in the dressing room, they're going to go out there and try to win. And with this coaching staff, they're going to try to prepare them to win. So we'll see how long this continues. But they're 6-1-1 in their last 8.
Well, I can tell you the Oilers, the first year they tanked is they lost Javi Bulin, their starting goalie, and Surrey, they starting defenseman, and their 2 best forwards, in Hemsky and Horkoff. So that was 1 year. And then if you look at who they had as deployed as goalies over the next 4 years, you'll see why they were near the bottom every year. You're bang on. Like, you can never ask players to tank. Like, look, they've traded Justin Falk, they traded Braden Shen, and they're just like, yeah, no problem. We'll keep playing well. Hofer has played exceptionally well. Now, I know the Islander game is the one game where, like, he faced 49 shots. So, and he only allowed 4 goals, and I think they lost in overtime that night. So it's not like the Blues are perfect defensively every game. But last night, again, Binnington played well. I think he stopped 31 of 32. So has it been more goaltending, or has the team defense also been pretty good here in these last 8 games?
No, it's goaltending. And even going back to that Islanders game, 49 shots. And Hofer was unbelievable in the first period. And then Buchnevich, an accidental 4-minute double minor, and the Islanders scored 2 goals on that 4-minute power play. So they got a couple power play goals there that allowed them to come back and tie it 3-3. And then, anything can happen, obviously, in the 3-on-3 in overtime. But, that game, again, the Blues probably didn't deserve to win. They were good in the second period, but not very good in the first period. And last night, that they keep track of the stat for steals for goaltenders. That was a steal by Jordan Binnington. You go to the San Jose game by Binnington, and the other games that Hofer has played since the Olympic break. I think Hofer's undefeated since the Olympic break. So, it's the defense. Listen, you've seen some progress from certain individuals. First off, and I know your listeners aren't going to love to hear this, but Philip Broberg was a man possessed last night. This guy was all over the ice, everywhere. I mean, every time you turn around, I don't know what position he was playing. Was he a forward? Was he playing D? He's below the goal line in the offensive end. He's the first guy back. He's carrying the puck. He's leading the rush. He's on a 2-on-1. I mean, this guy was incredible. And Logan Mailloux, who they got in the summer in exchange for Zachary Bolduc, and everyone was saying, well, what a terrible trade in the early going because Bolduc scored in his first 2 or 3 games with the Habs. And I don't think he scored since before Christmas. He's really struggling. And now with Justin Falk moving out, it's allowed this organization to give Logan Mailloux an opportunity to get some power play time and play some significant minutes. He's been over 20 minutes in every game since the Olympic break. And he's had games where he's been hovering north of 25 minutes in specific games and 23 minutes. So he's starting to really come on and thrive. And you're starting to see his potential and the reason why they were excited about getting a right shot defenseman in Logan Mailloux, who's a former first-round pick. So the defense has gotten a little bit better, but this team is playing, obviously the goaltending is carrying them. But I hesitate to say that a little bit, Jason, because you guys will see it tonight too. Robert Thomas is playing with as much confidence as we've seen since last season when he led the NHL in scoring coming out of the Four Nations, the final 25 games of the season. He's starting to develop some chemistry with a couple of young guys. Dylan Holloway, one of those guys who's just relentless on the puck, and his dog-on-a-bone mentality has created space for Jimmy Snuggerud, who's a rookie now with 15 goals, and he's gotten hot. And he's benefited from playing with Robert Thomas. Just keep your stick on the ice, find the open ice, and Thomas is going to find you. And we've seen that now in the last 5 or 6 games where these guys are pretty much getting multi-point games every single night.
Yeah, they're scoring a lot. You mentioned Mailloux, him and Broberg are playing together. Tell me about Theo Lindstein, who's been playing with Parayko.
Well, what's interesting is that Lindstein is one of 3 first-round picks from 2023 that you'll see in the lineup tonight and that played the last 2 games. The Blues had 3 first-round picks back in 2007 when they drafted Lars Eller and Ian Cole and David Perron, but they never played in the same game together. So it's kind of crazy. You get 3 first-round picks and they're all playing. Sometimes teams get 3 first-round picks, Jason, and one of them doesn't even end up playing in the NHL, So you want to make sure you hit on these guys when you're in kind of like that retool phase that the Blues have been in. But, he's got elite skating ability, which is what you see with a lot of first-round picks, especially those who come from Sweden. He can really skate. He closes in on you quickly, makes a good first pass. It's interesting, Jay. I'm not going to try to sugarcoat it. He was minus 24 in the American Hockey League.
Yeah.
So that kind of, made you be a little bit concerned. But I know you've seen this over the years, and you understand when I say this. Some guys are just better in the NHL than they are in the American League. He looks like he's one of those guys. And he's really impressed. He's flashed over the course of his first 2 games. And it looks like you have something there. Again, another right shot guy. They got Adam Jurasek also coming as a right shot defenseman who's playing in Brampton right now, who's arguably the best defenseman in the CHL, certainly one of them if he's not the best one. And he could be here as soon as next year. So when you ask why a guy like Justin Falk, for example, becomes expendable, it's because all these guys they have coming into the organization on the right side.
Andy Strickland joined us. So you look ahead. It was funny. I was looking at the Oilers. This is the 4th game in 6 nights for the Oilers on a 4-game road trip. But oddly enough, they've traveled less on this trip than the Blues have since the Blues were in Anaheim on Sunday. The Blues went from Anaheim to St. Louis to Carolina back to St. Louis. So they're playing 4 games in 6 nights. They're playing 3 and 4 like the Oilers, second half of a back-to-back. Well, they've actually traveled way more. Like I did the calculations, like 5,900 kilometers for St. Louis and like 2,900 for Edmonton. It's kind of an odd thing to have the home team, traveling that much, going Anaheim, St. Louis, Carolina, St. Louis, kind of a tough part for them. You think fatigue's at all a factor for the Blues?
Well, you hope not. And listen, they're putting in a young lineup right now. I said it's impossible to tank, and it is. But, management will force the issue and, kind of force the coaches to play some of these young guys and get them some experience. So you're seeing that right now with Otto Stenberg. And like I said, Lindstein is another one. Dvorsky, who's been in the lineup for basically the entire season. But again, getting a significant role. They've moved on from guys like Texier and Matthew Joseph and, now Braden Shen most recently. So they've created space for a lot of these young players. So you hope fatigue doesn't creep in when you have as much youth as they have in the lineup right now. And, Dylan Holloway missed, 23 or 24 consecutive games with an injury. So he's back in the lineup. Snuggerud's a young kid, just running on adrenaline right now. I mean, this guy should reach 20 goals now, you would think, on the season. Nobody saw that coming a few weeks ago. I think people expected that coming into the season, but then he had an injury. He had a little minor surgery. He missed some time. But again, the chemistry he's been able to show with with Robert Thomas may allow him to get to 20 goals. But yeah, the travel's been crazy. And look at all the travel the Blues have coming up now, because tomorrow we leave to go to Winnipeg, first of a 3-game trip. They go to Calgary, then Vancouver after that. They do get 2 days between games between Winnipeg and Calgary and Vancouver. So there's going to be at least an opportunity to kind of rest up a little bit. But you look at this last road trip they were on, then they come home for one, like you said. Then we were in Carolina last night, then back home tonight against Edmonton. It's been a lot of travel, a lot of crazy stuff. That's why, listen, all of you in Edmonton, don't overreact to this season. It's a goofy season. It's an Olympic year. It's a condensed schedule. I feel like every team that comes into town, they don't skate in the morning because they played the night before. Everyone's playing these 4 and 6s, 3 and 4s, 15 games in 30 days. It's a goofy season. You see injuries. You see teams that were in the playoffs last year out of the playoffs. Teams that were way out of the playoffs last year now all of a sudden looking like they have a chance to get in. This is a goofy season. I think we're going to get a better idea of who the big dogs are and who the pretenders are, I think, when we get into next year where it's more of a traditional schedule. But schedule is what it is, but it's not your typical season by any means.
No, now how disappointing, like the Blues were, and I don't even say, like, this isn't facetiously, the Blues were 1 second away from knocking off the Winnipeg Jets last year, right? Like that's how close they were. And a lot of people thought, hey, they were going to, like, Robert Thomas led the NHL in scoring coming out of the Olympic break. And like prior to the trade deadline, it's been a disappointing year for the Blues. When you look at that, like the first, 55 games, what went wrong for the Blues this year?
Well, pretty much a little bit of everything. I mean, Binnington obviously hasn't had the season that he expected. And then all of a sudden he goes to Milan and he comes back looking like vintage Jordan Binnington. They haven't scored goals this season, Jason. I mean, you look recently, you got some guys putting the puck in the net. But, I mean, the leading goal scorers for this team, I think Thomas, Kyrou, and now Snuggerer, they each have 15 goals on the year. The leading point getter, the leading scorer for the team is Robert Thomas, who missed a ton of games. And he's just over 40 points. So offensively, they struggled. The power play hasn't been great. You look at how many games they've had significant leads. You mentioned the Islanders game the other night. They lose in overtime. They had a 3-0 lead in that game.
Yeah.
And they end up losing. They had a 4-0 lead against Detroit earlier this season, and they lost. They had I think a 5-1 lead over Nashville a few weeks ago, and they lost that game. I mean, there's been more games where they just haven't been able to close teams out. Their record when trailing after 2 periods of play is bad. The record when leading after 2 periods of play isn't great in comparison to the rest of the league. They've had like 19 games or maybe 20 games now where they've lost by 3 or more goals on the season. And it has not been a good year. But all of a sudden, they found a way to turn it on, and here we are. They're 6 points out, and who knows what it'll look like if they beat Edmonton tonight, and then they go on the road. Like I mentioned, 3 winnable games in Winnipeg, Calgary, and Vancouver. I mean, who knows where this is going to go, Jason?
Yeah. Well, that's why, hey, the Blues feel like you never know, because the Seattle Kraken are on free fall mode. They've lost 4 in a row, and the 7 of their next 9 are on the road for Seattle, including a monster 6-game road trip, and they've got some tough games. Like, it's more the San Jose Sharks who, with young Celebrini, they got a huge win in Boston. That's probably the team that they're going to have to catch if you're the Blues. I think Seattle is just, I look at their schedule, unless they're going to have a massive, complete 180 here, I think the Kraken are going in the wrong direction. They still can't score, and that's been their problem all year long.
They can't score. Look at their lead. Does their leading scorer even have 40 points, maybe just over 40 points, kind of like St. Louis? We were in San Jose. I saw them play live on the last road trip. And they're like 2 teams, Jason. It's like, there's the San Jose Sharks with Celebrini on the ice, and then there's the San Jose Sharks when he's not on the ice.
Yes,
and they are two completely different teams. And I would just be surprised if they make the playoffs. To me, they don't look like a playoff team. They just don't have the depth. They're way too top heavy. Goaltending is just okay, in my opinion. So I don't have San Jose making it either. I mean, Utah should make it. I just wonder if the LA Kings are going to find their way back into it. A wild card spot, and where Nashville goes, and I don't know if Nashville will make it. I don't know if St. Louis will make it by any means either. I'm not saying that, but I just don't. As much as I don't believe in Seattle, I really don't trust San Jose, even though it's been a great season. No one expected them to be in this position when the season started, and they will become now a destination for free agents too, and for those players who are looking to get out of their current situations and maybe get traded elsewhere. for a chance to play with the Celebrini, and just him alone is going to have them competitive forever.
Andy, great stuff as always, buddy. Enjoy the game tonight, and we'll see if the Blues can have a historic comeback into the playoffs.
Jason, how's my boy Trent Frederick doing? Is he starting to? He scored a couple goals last week, right? I mean, he got in a fight. I mean, are you feeling better about Freddie?
I'll say Frederick since the Olympic break has played, I think, like the player that they thought they were signing, right? Like he wasn't very good for that. And Trent, very honestly, talked about it. Like, and then he lost his confidence. Like, it was pretty abundantly clear to me. But Frederick has actually he's been really solid. He's been engaged. He's smiling. Like, he's getting into scrums. He's fighting. He's scoring goals. He's hitting. And more importantly, he's winning a lot of battles. So no, his last 8 games, whatever it is for the Oilers since the Olympic break, I think what you would hope and expect for him.
Okay, good. All right, I like hearing that. All right, should be a good one tonight. I'm looking forward to it, Jason.
Awesome. Thanks, man. That's Andy Strickland from the Cam & Strick podcast, also does the Blues broadcast. Take a quick break. We'll return. We got more on the Oilers. Craig Button joins us next. It's a Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
The Jedi return to Rogers Place.
Tomorrow night, your Edmonton Oil Kings look to trap the Brandon Wheat Kings in Carbonite for the annual Star Wars game. Catch characters on the concourse for out-of-this-world selfies. Calmont Kids food combos for $10 or less. Plus, the Oil Kings will wear special Star Wars-themed jerseys that'll be auctioned and raffled off in support of Sorrentino's Compassion House.
7 p.m. tomorrow. Great family entertainment at Rogers Place starts at just $20 a seat. Save on day of game pricing now at oilkings.ca.
At GS Construction, every winter plan becomes a spring project. Every repaired line and every improved system is how we build the next chapter of Edmonton's infrastructure. And we can't do that without the best and the brightest in the field. That's why right now, GS Construction is looking to hire experienced top men, pipe layers, and operators who can step in and hit the ground running. With a people-first mentality, career growth, and comprehensive benefits, why would you want to work anywhere else? To apply, visit gsconstruction.ca.
At Fountain Tire, success is a team effort. They're committed to their team members and their customers. And that means treating your vehicle like it's their own and finding solutions that suit your needs. Because whatever the road brings ahead, they're on it with you. Visit fountaintire.com today.
And now Action Electrical's testing team is on defense duty. They're the guardians of safety and compliance, a critical part of any lineup.
Precisely. They perform rigorous safety and code compliance testing for commercial operations. Think of them as the referees, ensuring everything is up to standard before disaster strikes.
Their preventative plays are legendary, spotting faults early. Hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
Great news for your weekend project. CFI, that's Custom Floors Inc., is now open 6 days a week with Saturday hours from 10 till 2. Get top quality Canadian products from Beaulieu with the convenience you need. For your free estimate, visit CFI at customfloorsinc.ca.
Get the lowdown with Low Tide. Weekdays from noon to 2 on Sports 1440. He's seen it all and then some. From stats to stories, he breaks it down like no one else. Proud to be Edmonton sports leader. Sports 1440.
When life unexpectedly changes, it can leave us feeling unbalanced, uncertain, and unsure of how to move forward. But you don't have to go through it alone. I'm Corey Anderson with Fairway Divorce Solutions. Our team helps reestablish balance, guiding you through your divorce with compassion, clarity, and support. Fairway has helped more than 6,500 families across Canada find a path towards a peaceful, fair resolution. With 2 offices in Edmonton, we're here to make your journey easier. Discover your options at Fairway Divorce.
Oodle Noodle Origins. In 1864, Francis Oodle took over his dying father's business as a leatherman. He was quite proficient, but his heart was never truly in the trade. After his father's death, Oodle met a cocksure young man named Vladimir Nudel, who was a trailblazer in the popular new art of food boxes. They formed a partnership and aimed to ply their trade in the New World. At Ellis Island, Nudel was renamed David Noodle, and henceforth, the franchise has been known as Oodle Noodle.
Do you listen to sports radio at work? Like right now? Well, do you?
Who, me? No way. I swear.
Okay, friend, we won't tell. Tens of thousands of sports fans listen to Sports 1440 each and every day. On the radio, on the listening apps, on YouTube, and on social media. If you listen to Sports 1440 at work, well, maybe it's time to advertise on Sports 1440 at work. Grow your business. Get your name out there. Shoot our ad team an email. Gregor at sports1440.ca. let's get to work for you.
Does your bank do local? We do. When you bank with Vision Credit Union, you're banking with a rural Albertan cooperative that cares about the community where you live. There's no question. We actively support our rural communities at the local level through charitable donations, volunteerism, local team and event sponsorships, and by returning millions in profit shares to our members every year. Does your bank do that? We do local. Bank with Vision Credit Union. VisionCU.ca.
Is your business ready to grow? Not sure how? We have your solution. We are Stingray. Whether your customers are around the corner or across the country, Stingray connects you with radio to digital advertising, including connected TV, search and social, programmatic, digital advertising, and digital out of home. From idea to execution, we've got you covered. With creative and production, cross-platform integration, detailed reporting, and one-on-one support, it's the easy way to make your business grow. Get started now at stingraymediasolutions.com.
Portions of this hour brought to you by EWEL. Get your power play amped up with EWEL, supplying the City of Champions in Alberta with quality electrical gear since 1975. EWEL.ca is your partner in power.
This is Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Here's Jason Gregor.
Brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca.
Positive Friday rolls through. How are you? Welcome back. Jason Gregor, Wanye Gretz, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca. Hey, if you're looking for positive, the Canadian Corey Connor is in the clubhouse at 8 under par. Xander Schauffele's at 10 under, Cameron Young's at 9, and Ludwig Aberg birdied. He's now at 11 under. So at worst, Corey Connor is going to go into the weekend in the top 4 spot. So pretty good for him. So love to see him get a win, man. He's always in the top, and then, man, it's hard Saturdays and Sundays. So I'd love to see him get another win here soon. Him and our good buddy, Danny Saul, of course, who's his caddy for a long time. Great guy. Real tiny, though. Real tiny. Loves the vests. Old D Saul. Can grow a good beard, though. I'll say that. Jason Gregor, Wanye Gretz with you. Now, let's get to our big guest of the day, brought to you by the Spruce Grove Saints. Tonight and tomorrow, 7 o'clock start tonight, 6 o'clock start tomorrow, as the Saints are wrapping up the regular season, but they're battling for, they're in the playoffs. It's just a matter of where they're going to finish. So some meaningful games. Check it out. Get your tickets at the door or online, sgsaints.ca. Craig Button, TSN analyst, former NHL GM and Scout, Stanley Cup winner, joins us. Butts, how you doing, my man?
I am doing really well, Jason. How are you doing?
I am good. I'm actually quite good. There's lots happening in the sports world, so I like it. There's no shortage of storylines in the NHL. The Oilers are a story themselves, from good to bad to good to bad. They haven't been good long enough this year. They play a very good game in Vegas and Colorado and then stink out the joint in Dallas. But if they win tonight, it's 3-1 on a road trip, and they'll be pretty happy. So we'll see what they do. But I want to start with the whole situation around Goodis, because I tweeted it out, and people always like to deflect to something else. But I'm like, and I've said this for years. It just, to me, was another example. The Toronto Maple Leafs culture has never been enough bite and pushback from their top guys. I'm a firm believer it starts at the top, and when Sidney Crosby is battling his own battles, other guys do it. And when Patrick Kane and Drew Doughty, and go through all the teams that wonder, Alexander Ovechkin, McKinnon, down the list, everybody does it. Toronto's top guys have never done it, and I've always felt that's a cultural problem. And last night, your star guy gets hit by Gudas, who's got a clear reputation in the league, and no one does anything. You can change the coach all you want, Craig, and change the GM. Until you change the guy's culture to fight back, nothing changes in my books.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to tackle there, and with respect. And to me, like, I was in Detroit for 12 years, and I heard a lot of the same things about the Detroit Red Wings. And I heard a lot of that about Steve Yzerman. You'll never win with that guy. You'll never win with that guy. We heard the same things about Ovechkin. Oh, and by the way, then they went and won. And I think that, to say that the top players and the culture doesn't fight back, this has been a really good team with Matthews and Nylander and Marner, Tavares for a lot of years. they've fallen short in the playoffs. And, they lose last year to the Stanley Cup champions. We can look at how the team was constructed and say, okay, maybe they need a little bit more of this. The Tampa Bay Lightning in 2019, I think they won 62 games.
Yep.
They got dusted in 4 games. Oh, you can't win with Kucherov. You can't win with this guy. Oh, what ends up happening? They go and get Coleman. They go get Gaudreau. And now they have more of that. Just like the Red Wings went and got Draper and Maltby, and they drafted Murray LaPointe, and now you're able to do a lot more, and you're a lot deeper. I am not prepared to sit here and say this is on the leadership of the team. They play. Austin Matthews has been an MVP. Mitch Marner's been a first-team All-Star, and we're going to say that they don't have enough bite. That is not on the top guys. That is on the construction of the team. The managers have been soft, and that's Kyle Dubas, and that's Brad Treliving. They're the ones that have constructed this team. They're the ones that talk about they're slow. They had skill, but they didn't have the bite. Now they wanted to go get bite. Now they don't have skill and they're slow. They can't handle the puck on the back end. That has nothing to do with courage or standing up for yourself. That has to do with the construction of the team. And these players have been failed by management, in my view.
No, well, I would agree with that. The team construction hasn't been good. I feel like at some point your stars have to stand up for themselves. And I never felt that. Like when I hear, oh, geez, I should have done something. Like you shouldn't have to know that you should do something in that moment now. Like McCabe had no problem doing it. He did it for a rookie, for goodness sakes. The previous game, like you just saw it happen for one of your teammates how to do it. To me, I felt like it was a microcosm of other issues. I agree, roster construction hasn't been good, but I just never felt that Toronto had enough pushback from their main guys when it mattered.
Yeah, and I'm not, but I don't think we can take last night and indict for whatever the last number of years. And hey, listen, and Morgan Riley said, I take full responsibility. I believe, and I've seen it. This team checked out a long time ago. That was their first win in 8 games or 9 games after the Olympic break. They checked out. They're not paying attention. They don't care. And I think that the malaise that surrounds this team and where they're at, the players know that they can't win. They know they're not good enough. And last night was a bad example of it. It doesn't look good. And I totally agree with that. But this team has had success with these players. And again, I'm using some pretty good examples, I think, of in the past where players were questioned. And then when the team got built around them a little bit better, oh my Lord, they won. Isn't that a surprise?
Yeah. Craig Button joins us. Craig, looking at if I'm the Edmonton Oilers, I'm just running with Connor Ingram now. I can't play Tristan Jarry right now. The Oilers have 9 games the rest of the month, no back-to-backs. Twice they got 2 games in between games. There's no reason Ingram can't play 7 or 8 of the next 9.
Well, I mean, I totally agree with you. It's so interesting with Tristan, and again, they changed the goaltending, the narrative around the goaltending. There was a feeling that it needed to change. And now the narrative is completely different. The narrative is the guy we brought in to change the narrative has made the narrative worse. So I totally 100% agree with you. Give it to Connor Ingram. And we can look and say that Connor Ingram, okay, where's he at? How did they get him? Who cares? They got him. And you go back and look at his track record in this league, previous to him going into the player assistant program, which was helpful for him and necessary. He had some really good productive runs. Try to get him on another productive run here because the other guy can't do it. I would not have him anywhere near the starting goaltender at any point in time.
No. And hey, the Oilers' defense has to be better too. I'm not just going to say it's the goaltending.
I agree.
Last night was, but they've shown they can at least do it, right? Against Colorado, against Vegas. Here you go. And the goaltender can at least make a save or two sometimes, maybe early in a game, and that can spark you. So it has to be a combination of things for the Edmonton Oilers. There's no question. They're still in a decent.
Something to this. I remember. I'll go back in a story, and I remember we had Roman Turek, and I mean we drafted Roman Turek in Minnesota. We had him in Dallas on our Stanley Cup team. He went to St. Louis, and I traded for him here in Calgary, and he started out the year really, really good, and our team started out really good. Then Roman kind of went into a little bit of a tailspin. But I remember sitting down with Roman, and I said to Roman, I said, you have bailed out the team at times, and that's fine, and the team has bailed you out. But at some point in time, Roman, you just got to get your game steady and consistent, because you can't look to the team to bail you out, nor should they have to look at you to bail you out. And I think right now the team has bailed out Tristan Jarry. Tell me when he's bailed out the team this year.
No, he hasn't.
No, and that to me is a real problem.
Yeah,
I think there's a stat that says steals. Like they look at how many games a goaltender steal. Tristan Jarry, like there is no way, and the players are never going to say it. There is no way that any player on that team can look at Tristan Jarry and go, well, our chances are really good with him in the net tonight.
Yeah. Well, right now you're bang on. It's not, it is not a situation, and confidence does matter by your players at times. There's no, I don't think anyone can debate that. So right now you got to go with Ingram. There's no reason why you can't. And, they always got to play better. There's defensively for sure. A few of the teams, Craig, in the East, the Ottawa Center, like the Detroit Red Wings, their injuries, man, Larkin and Kopp come at a brutal time for them. Ottawa's playing really well, except their goaltender. I look at Ottawa, and I still don't count them out, but man, the Detroit Red Wings are only 2 points out of the playoffs, because the Columbus Blue Jackets, they don't rarely go out without a point. They get a point every game, it seems, here in their last 9 games. How concerned are you that the Red Wings, for the 3rd year in a row, could fall out of the playoffs?
Well, and I think that losing Dylan Larkin, I mean, their leader, the key player, he goes out, and we're not talking about a few games, a couple of weeks now. And Andrew Kopp is a real good functioning player that plays different roles and helps that team win. And I think you nailed it. It's the Columbus Blue Jackets. The Columbus Blue Jackets are the team that, of any of the teams out of the playoffs, that's the team I think will be in the playoffs. And everything, like you said, they get a point, they find ways to win games, they reinforce their team with Connor Garland. Rick Bowness has done a fabulous job in there, and I think that you're the Detroit on one side with injuries. You got other team, Columbus. Okay, we can put Ottawa into the mix somewhat and say, hey, they're playing pretty good. There's no question Detroit's vulnerable. They're just no question they're vulnerable.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. What about the Buffalo Sabres? How are they the best team in the East right now?
Well, they're playing the best right now of any team in the East. And I think, but you start to look at where they're at. Like, if we just look on paper and we look at a healthy team, Tampa Bay is the best team in the East. And I think that, Carolina is a really good team. But Buffalo has to be taken seriously. And nobody thought that they would be a contender if we were talking in November. But they're a contender now. I don't have them in that upper tier of contention, but you have to look at them as a contender. And certainly their play since December has been phenomenal. It's been exceptional. So you have to recognize that. But, I'm not prepared to say that they're the best team, but they're right there. And they're showing that they can compete with the best teams. That's all you ask for as you try to progress.
Craig, give me your thoughts on Bryce Pickford. I know you cover the juniors a lot, and the guy's a goal-scoring machine on the back end. Like, he'd easily have 50 goals if he didn't miss 12 games this year. How he's not going to be a 40-goal scorer in the NHL, because defensemen just aren't that anymore. But how translatable is his game, do you think, to the next level?
I think it's really translatable. I really like the player. I think that he's a couple of things I'll say about Bryce, and I've watched him lots, and I think he's a hockey junkie. I think that he just wants to get better. He's always trying to find ways to get better time and time and time again. And he's shown that. I mean, he ends up being a 3rd-round draft pick last year. That's a steal. I already tell you that's a steal. I don't have to wait to tell you that was a steal. Bryce, and he's a competitor. And he's not just, we talk about the goal scorer, and it's really nice. This isn't some up-the-ice roaming player. He plays big minutes. He plays hard minutes. He's committed to being a good player in all areas of the game. And I think that, yeah, you're right. He's not going to score 40 goals in the NHL. If he does, well, we're going to be talking Bobby Orr, Paul Coffey like. But when you think about his game, and he's hard and he's committed to being better, and he has these other skills, the really good skills, I have no doubt he's going to be an NHL player. I think he's going to be a good, solid NHL player.
Yeah, okay. Obviously, like most young guys, probably develop in the minors and go from there.
Should have been on the World Junior team.
Yeah. Oh, agreed wholeheartedly with that one. I was kind of perplexed as to. I think there is a case. Well, we never had him in Team Canada before, Craig, so he can't get there at 19. Like sometimes I feel that's how Hockey Canada works. Sometimes it's not always about
Ethan
the best
McKenzie
player.
there.
Yeah,
and Ethan McKenzie isn't anywhere near as good a player as Bryce Bickford.
Nah. And he's good for the Old Kings for sure. But you're right.
Yeah, I'm not knocking Ethan.
Yeah.
I'm not saying Ethan. I'm just saying, like, those are misses. And let me tell you where the miss really became, because one of the things that showed up for Team Canada at the World Junior was they had too many defensemen that couldn't handle the puck and make plays.
Yeah,
that's not Bryce Bickford.
Yeah. No, that's very true. Lastly, Craig, Evan Bouchard, Lane Hudson, Cale Makar, Zach Werenski, and lots of other guys down the list. When you look at the Norris, which guy's season stands out most to you?
Right now, it's Werenski. And I think he's really taken a hold of the team in Columbus. Been an unbelievable player for them, and you watch how he plays the game. He plays so many minutes, and it's seamless for him in the way he plays. So for me, I like. Is he far ahead of everybody? No, but he's a little bit ahead here for me. Then after that, I'm not so sure that, like, Lane Hudson, Evan Bouchard, Cale Makar has been great and everything that goes with it. And I don't think you can eliminate Quinn Hughes from this. Quinn Hughes is so. Those are the five that right now I think have been really good. I don't know how much people are aware of what J.J. Moser has been doing down. He's been more of the offensive numbers don't pop, but he's that Jacob Slavin type guy down there for Tampa Bay right now. He's had a fantastic season. But the five guys are Bouchard, Hudson, Werenski, Hughes, and Bouchard. Those are the five. And it was funny. I don't know if you saw it yesterday, but I was on SportsCenter, and I was asked, what about Evan Bouchard? Becoming elite? And I had to answer it this way. I said, if you didn't know he was elite, you haven't been paying attention.
Exactly.
And he's been in the Stanley Cup final the last 2 years.
Yeah.
It boggles my mind that all of a sudden, when did he move to elite category? Yeah, 3 years ago.
Yeah, it is. It is. And it's like when they say, oh, yeah, Bouchard makes defensive mistakes. I'm like, oh, yeah, you don't think Cale Makar does and these other guys do either? It's just people, people don't want to change. Like, Bouchard made a few mistakes in October. I can't get over it. And that's all I think about. And I'm like, your analysis is a tad incomplete if that's all you're focusing on.
That's a great way of putting it. Incomplete. And I don't know if I've ever told you the story about Harry Sinden talking about Ray Bourque. I mean, if you can believe it, Ray Bourque, he won, I think, 5 Norris trophies, Hall of Famer. He was maligned at different times for his play. Yeah. Anyway, I paraphrase Harry Sinden. He said, he goes, Ray Bourque, 2 or 3 times a game, he makes a blunder, and, times it ends up in our net. But he goes, he does about 20 things a game that help us win a lot more than we lose. And he goes, if I'm going to start getting fussed about the 2 or 3, I'll lose the 20. And that's not a good trade-off for what Ray Bourque does. That's Evan Bouchard to me.
Yeah. Well said. Craig, have yourself an awesome weekend. We will chat with you next Friday.
We will. Thanks, Jason.
There you go. That's Craig Button from TSN. We'll return. We got 5 questions and more. A busy Positive Friday in the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Booster Juice is going crazy for hazelnuts.
No, not crazy. Nuts.
Booster Juice is going bananas for hazelnuts.
I mean, there are bananas in smoothies, but that's not the point.
Banana juice is booster for hazelnuts.
What? Just stop.
Booster Juice is going nuts for hazelnut. Introducing the Nutty Monkey Smoothie, Holy Hazelnut Acai Bowl, and Nutty Booster Ball, all made with rich, creamy hazelnut spread. Try them today, only at Booster Juice. Canadian born, blending since 1999.
Edmonton, did you know a local Play Alberta winner scored over $500,000 on Mega Jackpots Ocean Bells? Think about the season tickets you could lock down with that kind of cash. From major casino winners every hour to jackpots worth millions and hundreds of popular games to money that stays in the province, there's never been a better time to sign up for Play Alberta. Download the app today to get started with casino, sports, and lottery all in one app. Must be 18 plus to play. When you gamble, use your game sense.
The job isn't done until the last load is hauled, and having a semi-trailer out of commission is not an option. Whether replacing or adding to your convoy, Edmonton Trailer has a huge inventory of new and used semi-trailers, trusted by the gravel, logging, oil field, fluids, and freight industries. Find a trailer right for you online or at one of their 3 locations. For sales, service, parts, rental, and finance, when you're in it for the long haul, Edmonton Trailer.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. We're the #1 dealer in the world. Just kidding. If we were, would you care? We're the #1 dealer in Canada. Still kidding. You probably still don't care. Tell you what you will care about, our March Madness sale going on right now. Discounts up to $30,000. And the grand opening of our Autoplex, a massive indoor showroom. No self-proclaimed titles, no iPads, no trips to Vegas or hockey jerseys, just a really good deal. Stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
Big guests, bigger takes. Jason Gregor brings the names you know and the stories you don't. Weekdays, 2 to 6 on Sports 1440. Don't miss a minute of the action on Edmonton's sports leader, Sports 1440.
Getting your vehicle sparkling clean doesn't have to cost a fortune. Take it into Hughes today and pay just loonies a wash.
Find us at hughescarwash.com.
Actions speak louder than words. Japa Machinery Group puts your construction plan into action with XCMG construction machinery you need. Available for rental or sale. Learn more at japamachinery.com.
NHL Star Sticks are back at McDonald's, and we're celebrating by going bigger.
Make that smaller, way smaller than ever before.
Collect the set and get one of 7 mini sticks with every NHL Star Sticks meal. Featuring McDavid, Matthews, Quinn Hughes, Makar, Celebrini, Reinhardt, and Montembeau. So get yours while they last. 1 stick per meal purchase. Limited time at participating Canadian restaurants.
The Price is Right Live is at the Brick. Come on down to any Brick location for your chance to win over $300,000 in prizes. They're giving away shopping sprees, mattresses, appliance packages, big screen TVs, and so much more. Plus, this Saturday, play for up to $1,000 off your purchase. Everyone who makes a purchase is a winner. The price is always right at the Brick. The Brick, saving you more. Conditions apply. See in store for details.
Being a living organ donor is a noble, life-changing act. But there's more than one way to be a hero. Join the Living Donor Circle of Excellence. As an employer, you can give the gift of time and remove financial barriers to make employee donations easier. You'll earn recognition, a raised corporate profile, employee satisfaction, and of course, be a huge part in saving lives in desperate need. Support the sacrifice of living donors. Discover how to join the Living Donor Circle of Excellence program today at kidney.ca.
Budget 2026 is focused on what matters. With record investments in healthcare and education and a plan to keep our economy strong. This means better access to doctors and nurses, plus 50,000 more surgeries over 3 years. It also means hiring more teachers and building or renovating more than 160 schools, all while keeping taxes low and growing the economy. Budget 2026, focused on what matters. Visit alberta.ca/budget. A message from the Government of Alberta.
Portions of this hour brought to you by 01 Athletic Care. Injuries don't wait, and neither should you. 01 Athletic Care offers one-stop access to doctors, x-rays, and casting. It's expert musculoskeletal care covered by Alberta Health, right in West Edmonton Mall. Move from injury to recovery. Book now at 01.ca. That's ZERONE.ca.
This is Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Here's Jason Gregor.
Brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca.
4:50. Here's some breaking news. According to Chris Knobloch, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins will not play tonight. He is attending to a personal matter. Came back home. So Max Jones, who was recalled earlier today, will draw in the lineup tonight for the Edmonton Oilers. So my question to you, Oiler fans, is who do you play on the left wing with Hyman and McDavid? That's the question. You get to play coach. Who would you put on the top line? 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440, as we get to 5 questions brought to you by The Brick. Over $300,000 in prizes to be won. Mattresses, sofas, big screen TVs, appliance packages, and more as The Brick hosts The Price is Right live.
It's time for 5 questions on the Jason Gregor Show.
All right, guys, question number 1 after the Oilers lost last night. Did anyone stand out to you in a positive fashion?
I like Dickinson's game, Connor. I thought scoring, which is never going to hurt, but I liked his game overall.
Good in a good way. Oh, God. No, nobody stood out in a good way. Sorry. Greg Dickinson scored his first goal, sure, but I didn't see very many positive personal performances last night.
Question number 2, without Nugent in the lineup, let's get your prediction and a bold prediction as well.
Well, now that I know that they're 2-0 in bounce-back games after getting shelled, I think that continues tonight, and they'll bounce back. I'll say 5-2, Connor.
Well, you know what? The Oilers have a chance to go 3-1 on the road. And they have bounced back after being blown out twice this year. So I'm going to say the Oilers win. Low-scoring game, though. 4-2 with an empty net.
Question number 3, we saw the play Radko Gudas on Austin Matthews last night. Still no official ruling. So if you were running the show, you got to make the call. How many games would you suspend him for, if any?
I'd give him 3 games. He can't hit the captain.
I think that's a pretty blatant knee. I know people don't want to hear it, but I do think it matters who you hit. So Malkin got 5 for his cross-check or slash. I'm going to say Gudas gets 5.
All right. Question number 4. It's Friday the 13th today, which goes hand in hand with superstitions. Do you guys have any?
I never let an Oilers jersey touch the ground for any reason. No matter what state I return home to from a game, I will hang the jersey up to show respect to the logo.
Any superstitions? No. I've never, there's nothing I can think of that I'm superstitious about. Like, even when I played, I didn't have it. I got to put right skate on, left skate on. There was nothing. I don't really have I can't even think of one that's even minor that's funny.
No farm superstitions? Never let a baby goat to be born on a Tuesday? Nothing?
No, there's nothing. I've never been superstitious about stuff. Nothing I can think of where I'm like, oh, I got to do this or I have to do that. Other than I always have to brush my teeth before bed, but that's just cleanliness, not superstition.
That's just good hygiene.
Yeah, exactly.
Final question for you guys. Actor Emil Hirsch turns 41 years old today, been in a lot of movies, including Alpha Dog, which was based off a true story. What is your favorite movie based off a true story?
I want to blow your mind here, Connor. The Matrix.
Get the hell out of here.
Yeah. What?
Think about it.
Oh, man. Well, there's a lot of good ones, but I might go 12 Years a Slave based off of Solomon Northup's kidnapping. That's definitely one. Schindler's List, obviously, I found amazing. God, there's lots of good ones, man. But I'll stick with that one. If I had to pick a sports one, though, Remembering the Titans.
Or Rudy.
It's not a true story.
It's not? Rudy Rudiger isn't a real guy? Yes, it is.
Yeah, Rudy's based on a true
story. Sean Astin?
Yeah, he was carried off the field. That's the last guy to be carried off the field. That part is true.
Dang.
Yes.
Oh.
You didn't know Rudy was a true story?
I thought it was a myth.
No. That part's a true story. Some of the plays in the situations in the movie, of course, being augmented in Hollywood style. But no, the Rudy Rudiger is a true story. He's the last player to be carried off the field in Notre Dame.
Cool. Good pick.
What about you, Connor? What's your favorite movie based on a true story?
Oh, Remember the Titans for sure. But also sticking with the Emil Hirsch theme, Lords of Dogtown is also another good one.
Big Emil Hirsch guy.
He's pretty good. Pretty good. I will never watch the one we were just talking about, Alpha Dog. I'll never watch it again. It's too sad.
Lords of Dogtown is a true story. Like it's about skateboarding?
Yeah. Stacy Peralta and the Z Boys. Z Boys in Canada. Yep.
Really?
Heath Ledger is fantastic in it as well.
Really?
Yeah. The guy he portrays, Skip, you see him talk and you're like, wow, like more respect. Everyone knows Heath from his movies like Dark Knight's obviously Joker, but he's really good in that one as well.
Yeah.
Dark Knight's based on a true story.
Cinderella Man from Doug. That's a good one. Yes. The guys, Wanye's obsessed with situational theory or simulation theory.
You know I am.
It's true.
Dear Texter.
There you go. Well, have a good weekend, fellas. Let's get to a sports update. We got the pregame show coming up next. Sports update brought to you by Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC this weekend, man. Go check out their new Autoplex. It's amazing. Huge indoors. Got all the Corvettes out. And you don't have to worry about some sort of special. They just give you a very good, honest deal. NorthgateGM.com.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Game day Oilers and Blues from St. Louis. Puck dropping just over an hour. Coming up next, pregame coverage with Andrew Walker. One other game tonight, Islanders and Kings meeting in Elmont in the association. The Raptors are in action. They'll take on the Suns just after 5:30. Day 2 at the Players' Championship. Ludwig Oberg sitting atop the leaderboard at 12 under. Alexander Shoffley 10 under. Cameron Young 9 under. Corey Connors -8. As for the other Canadians, Taylor Pringle -1. Nick Taylor even. Sadar Shen, Ilham Raju is +1. Looking like Mackenzie Hughes and AJ Ewert will miss the cut. BCHL has the Saints taking on Cranbrook. Crusaders hosting Kelowna. Both games are going at 7. In the AJ, 5 games tonight, including Devon and Whitegort. Old sits the Canmore and the Storm taking on the Thunder. PWHL tonight, Seattle in Minnesota. And Pandas volleyball action this weekend. U Sports Championship. They'll take on the number 8 seed Montreal at 9 o'clock. Semis tomorrow. The finals go on Sunday. And Paralympic Games, Canada sledge hockey team advancing to the gold medal matchup after they beat China 4-2. Up next, pregame coverage with Andrew Walker. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440 in West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin. CKJR is a Stingray radio station.
Download the free radio player app and listen wherever you go.
Bringing every project to life requires the right team. By joining the Japa Machinery Group service or sales teams, you can be part of setting a new industry standard. Celebrating a legacy of excellence with Japa. Learn more at japamachinery.com.
The Jedi return to Rogers Place
Tomorrow.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Crystal Glass, your clear choice for residential windows. Locally manufactured and installed, Crystal Glass provides a beautiful product and incredible customer service for all your residential needs. Call 310 Glass. Visit crystalglass.ca for a quote.
Before every game this season, check out the pregame show with Andrew Walker, exclusively on Edmonton's home for sports, Sports 1440.
Hey, everybody, 5:03. Happy Friday. It is the Titan Supply pregame show. Andrew Walker with you, Donovan Paulson along for the ride, and we are taking over the final hour of the Jason Gregor show. Greg's is sticking around. What a read, by the way, by Donnie Paulson. It's just unbelievable, right? I mean, he comes out of broadcast school, and you might think, might be drafting Yakupov. You might have gotten Nuge. I'll be honest. I'll be honest. You've been around the block. I have too. What a read. What a read. He might have been practicing on the drive over, but maybe not. Maybe that's just off the cuff, right?
Positive Friday, buddy. Yeah. Guys got to step up. It's getting close to playoff time. You got to elevate your game.
That's right. Donnie's a lot like the Oilers, right? It's like 82 games. You're like, but he'll turn it up.
Are you saying he's the Janmark of live reads?
I wish he was on LTIR. Oh my God. Call someone up. Call someone up, please. It was funny last night. So we were at first round where we watched most of the games before the post game show, and Donnie's usually very engaged. We have good talks, and then he saw an old instructor from Nate, and he just disappeared, just gone. Didn't even introduce me. He was just soaking up the old days glory.
Oh, nice. Yeah. The few instructors that I had are still there.
Oh, lifers.
No, I think there's only Chris is still there, I think. And obviously Pat's the head of RTA.
I don't know.
Oh yeah, no, he is.
I went to I went to Western Academy in Saskatoon.
Is that even still around?
I'd be surprised.
Yeah.
Exactly. A lot of great broadcasters went there. Like at one point, I have this great picture on my phone because their marketing was like, you could be like one of these guys. And the four guys that they had on like their brochure was all Darren's, by the way, Darren Millard, Darren Dreger, Darren Detition, and me. Which it was like one of these guys is not the same. And also one of them's not named Darren. But it was a poverty school, but it was very practical. So what they would do, because I don't know how you grew up. Like, I didn't grow up like listening to all the radio stations or whatever. I grew
up listening to John Short.
Sure. Yeah. And I didn't even know sports radio existed really until I was already in the business, believe it or not.
What?
No, it's a long story, but I loved sports. And when I was 18, I took a road trip with my cousin, didn't know what I was going to do. I was enrolled in the University of Manitoba, trying to get into commerce, whatever. And we took a road trip. We went down. It was the day that the Oilers released their Todd McFarlane gear third jerseys.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is 2000 maybe, 2001.
Yeah.
And anyway, so we drive down to Denver. We do a trip. And we're very excited. We had tickets in a suite because of his business suppliers or whatever. And so we're there and we go to the rink. Hockey Night Canada Saturday night, we go super early. We're the first people in the rink, right, to get the experience and whatever. And I can't remember how we got them or it was something to do with season tickets, but we had those jerseys, the brand new jerseys.
All right.
And so they were noticeable. And so back in the day, you remember on Hockey Night, they would do a preview in the second, I want to say the second intermission of the first game. Scott Oak and Kelly Rudy, a very young Kelly Rudy, by the way, would do their little, tee up right on the glass. And so we went right down in the corner. We're super fans. I'm 17 years old. And we go down and we watch them do this tee up. So we're an hour and a half away from the drop of the puck still. And they notice our jerseys, and it was a story of the night. And so as they do once in a while, so they motioned us down. We couldn't believe our luck. And Kelly says, hey, like, nice jerseys, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, we drove down all the way from Edmonton, 21 hours straight or whatever the trip is. And it said, do you guys want to be on hockey night? Like a quick little, and we're like, you kidding me? Of course. And so, we wait around and they bring us down. So we're in the kind of the Zamboni entrance and we're going to be on hockey night. And then the first game goes to overtime. So we had a little bit of a delay. Anyway, so long story short, we kind of hung out and chatted with them and they were super nice. And I got back from that trip. We had a little 20-second cameo. Wasn't crazy. Still have the video, but at Frosted Tips, it was awful. But we get back and from that day, I was like, I want to do that. Whatever it is they're doing, I want to do it. And I rolled in Western Academy the next without I didn't know anything about anything. And I went to the school and ended up being half decent at it. And there it is. And then Kelly Rudy and I ended up being colleagues later on in life, which was super cool, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's the story. It is the Titan Supply pregame show.
That story wasn't as good as Donovan's read. I'm just gonna say.
Yeah, no, it was a lot of talking for not a lot of payoff. I'll agree. Wait until you see the video, though. It was awful.
Hey, so I got a question to start it because Nugent Hopkins is out tonight. Oilers fans, he's not injured. He's attending to personal matter, according to head coach Chris Knobloch. So back in Edmonton, so he won't play tonight. Max Jones was recalled. Doc was moved to LTIR, so Jones will play. So my question:
Jones is there?
Yeah, well,
he arrived.
Yeah, he arrived because they were going to Texas anyway for the AHL team. So they were close, right?
Right.
They're supposed to be in Texas tonight, so they probably just.
I'm bad at geography, man. Yeah. I didn't know that Missouri and Texas were close. Yeah. I'll be honest.
They're close. Well, they're way closer than OKC. I'll just say that. Sure. They're both in the central time zone. And so they obviously probably knew this yesterday, right? Or late last night or this morning. So they moved him in. But
so do we have
no, they haven't had warm up yet.
For Nisku Ford, we're gonna see lines.
My question to you is, who does Knobloch play with McDavid and Hyman to start the game? Like, I think there's an obvious answer, but I'm curious.
Yeah. Savoy.
Yeah, it's got to be. It should be Savoy.
Yeah, and then throw Podkolzin and Kapanen with Draisaitl.
Podkolzin and Kapanen with Draisaitl.
Oh no, Roslovic's still there.
Yeah, Roslovic is there. Podkolzin, and then I would bump Frederick.
I would bump Kapanen down. Yeah,
you bump Kapanen down.
Yeah.
Well, because if Henrique's gonna be
former team team buzz for Kapanen.
Yeah, maybe.
If you buy into that.
Possibly. Because I look at, Szymanski's on your fourth line.
Fred. Well, you could elevate
Frederick's going to be in your third line for sure now. Because it's going to be Jones.
Henrique's your 4C, obviously.
But
on your fourth.
Yeah, and Szymanski, but then do you play Roslovic with Kapanen and Frederick? Right? Because they're missing Nuge as their third line center now. They don't have a third line center. Oh no, sorry.
No, you're good. No, you're fine.
Yeah. What am I saying? Nuge is the first line left wing.
Yeah. I would go Savoy with McDavid and Hyman, and then I would go Draisaitl with Roslovic and Pods.
Yeah, Dickinson's my third line center.
Yeah, Dickinson with Cap and
Frederick.
And Frederick, yes. I would elevate. Yes, yeah. And then your fourth line is obviously Jones, obviously to Henrique. He's not being elevated. And Szymanski. Yeah, that's what it will be.
Yes.
And if it's not,
I would think that's what it should be. But if it isn't Savoy, I'd be like, what's going on?
Yeah, you're right. It is a very obvious elevation. Savoy's been great.
Yeah.
Terrific. Titan Supply, by the way, the pregame show, your only source for rigging, lifting, and hauling products. Visit titansupply.ca. You want to weigh in on that? Interesting question. The Weiss, Curtis on the text line says it better be Savoy. You're right. I would totally agree. The Weiss Johnson text line, Edmonton's go-to for all your heating, air conditioning, and hot water tank needs. Visit Weiss-Johnson.com. Ahead on the show, we're going to play River Cree over under. Your chance to win $100 the River Cree Resort and Casino. Coming up in about 10, 12 minutes from now, our game day analyst Landon Ferraro will join for Ed's Auto Salvage. We'll hear from the head coach. And again, once we know the lines, we'll reset them as well for Nisku Ford. I would like to think, Greg's, that there's generally something happens, right? And this isn't to call, all fans dumb or anything like that. But generally speaking, something happens and there's an instantaneous reaction from a large percentage of people that watch the team. And generally, I don't think it's overly nuanced. All right. Not very often do I find myself on that side, if that makes sense.
Sure.
And I'm having a tough time not being on that side when it comes to the Tristan Jarry stuff. So generally speaking, it's like everyone, like, relax. Everyone take a step back, right? It's a long season, blah, blah, blah. Like, that's kind of what you need, the attitude you need to have. But if someone, and I find myself sharing the opinion, if someone says, listen, I've seen enough, send Jarry to the A and call up Pickard.
But you can't.
Yeah,
but you can't do it.
Sure.
Yeah.
But theoretically.
Yeah.
I find myself agreeing with that. And part of me is like, is that too harsh?
Well, no, like Jarry needs to find his game. There's no question about it. Like his last 10 games, like that's a long stretch. 10 games, he's allowed 41 goals. He's got an expected goal saved at minus 11. Like
it's next level.
The defense has to be better. There's no debate. But Jarry hasn't made enough saves at all. Like Stuart Skinner in his last 10 games, he's plus 4.2. For anybody, if you want a comparison, like I said at the time of the trade, I'm like, eesh. I don't love the trade because you're trading a guy who's not any more consistent, but costs twice as much.
Okay, so to me, it's not about Skinner, though, right? Because I find
But even Ingram has played way better in that
Oh,
time.
I mean, listen, Ingram, my worry with Ingram is because he's clearly the guy. And I said this going into last night, right? Like, yeah, Jarry gave you a good period against Colorado, which looks to be the anomaly, not the right. Like, good for him. And what can he do against Dallas? Well, then he gives up 7 on 27, like ridiculous. And to be honest, it's like when you're in baseball, when your bullpen is taxed and you got a pitcher. It's like, sorry, buddy, you're going to have to wear this one. Jarry couldn't give up 13 last night. They were not putting in Ingram.
No. Like they weren't putting him in. And I felt like last night, you know what? They would have lost either way. Jarry could have maybe made 1 or 2 big saves, maybe lose 5-2, right? But
isn't that frustrating? Because the Oilers could have played very well and they still would have lost. Because they didn't get they had no goaltending, and that's very frustrating.
But they didn't play well right from the get-go. Like they had nothing going. Like yesterday was one of I don't think they generated one chance off the rush in that whole game, right? Like their penalty kill wasn't good. Their power play, that might have been and their power play is unreal, but that would have been the worst game I've seen their power play. Like
correct.
How many Draisaitl had 3 giveaways on one power play. Like it was everything about it was brutal, but
part of
Jarry has to play better.
Part of it is this space and time continuum thing too, right? Because like what, butterfly flaps its wings or whatever, but like, so it's 2-0. And I'll be honest, I was so confident the way they played in Vegas and the way they played in Colorado, down 2-0. I was all right still, right? Like an awful start, obviously. But it's like, okay, like get into your game and not ideal, but like, man, go to work. You can get a point out of this game. Like you can beat anybody. And then when that third goal goes in on Jarry, which is not even a scoring chance. I know it's an odd man rush, but it's from 40 feet out. Brutal. Right. And that it's game's over at that point. And then it's 4-0. We can argue about the Dickinson penalty, which I thought was a little weird. I know you don't see that very often, but how are you holding your stick with no pressure? Like if I lift your stick and it goes 3 rows up into the crowd, that's on you, not on Dickinson. Anyway, doesn't matter. Game's over at that point. 5th goal is trash. And then it's just bad vibes. Right. But yeah, like I said, they weren't going to lift Jarry in that game. And I also liked how McDavid only played 17 minutes. Like they didn't chase the game.
No,
they gave up on it, and that's smart because you go into St. Louis tonight. It's a big swing game, man. Huge swing game, right? You lose and you're 2-2 on this roadie after starting with those 2 wins.
Mm-hmm.
You win, and it's like no one cares about the Dallas game. Honestly, you go 3-1 on the road. That's sign me up. We would have signed up for 2-2, but when you start the road trip with 2 wins, obviously you're going to want a little more.
Yes. So, and that's the thing though. If you win, then last night almost becomes kind of irrelevant because the road trip is 3-1. And that probably would have been a best case scenario for anybody. It sucks how they lost, but the Oilers have to do what they did the other 2 times. This year, they're undefeated in games after they lose by 5.
Right. Yeah. No, it's true. It's true. The big win against Columbus earlier. And
they shut out Seattle.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. So I got off track there a little bit. Now, what prevents them? Educate me. What prevents them from not having Pickard as their backup?
Well, the only way you could do it, because you can't send Jarry down. Like, you cannot do it.
Or you can put him on waivers.
No, but you can't send him to the minors. Put him on waivers does nothing. He's still on your roster. You guys, you can't send players. The only guys who can go to the minors after the trade deadline are players who are on the AHL roster before the trade deadline.
So you could call up Pickard and bury Jarry if you wanted.
No, you can't bury him. He can't go to the minors.
No,
you have
not
keep,
bury. Sorry,
you keep him on your roster.
Right,
sure.
I mean,
so,
yeah.
But right now, so to do that, you could carry
by bury him. I mean, like you're a non sequitur.
Yeah,
yeah.
But to do that, then you'd have to send Jones back down and just run with 12 and 6, which you could do. But I'm like, what's the benefit of it? Because Pickard's not better than Ingram. Just run Ingram for 7 or 8 of the next 9.
Pickard's not better than Jarry. I mean,
no, Pickard's not better than Ingram. So Ingram's my starter. And if Jarry's just going to sit on the bench and not play for the next 2 weeks, why do I need Pickard here? Because I don't need to play Pickard. I'm just going to play Ingram.
Yeah, I mean, I sound very Gen Z here, but vibes, right?
Yeah.
Like, listen, do you feel?
But if the guy,
you feel like Jarry is even an Oiler yet?
Yeah, no, not really.
Not really.
Yeah.
Right? Like Pickard.
But
I was down on Pickard all year. He didn't look like an NHL goalie. I know he's a good guy. I know he's been a big goalie, but it was time to make a change. And, Ingram, obviously a good ad. The Jarry thing to this point has been a disaster. Like, if you were to delete Jarry and put in Pickard to not even play, just to play the back-to-backs down the stretch, it would be a breath of fresh air, I feel.
But they only have one of those, right? And that's not until April. So, because the Oilers only play 9 games in their next 19 days.
I mean, it's all Ingram.
Yeah, it's all Ingram can play. So Jarry will probably get 1. And if you wanted to for that one game, you could do it. But when you say, well, Jarry's not an Oiler, if you call up Pickard to make him the number 3, now he's even farther away from becoming an Oiler. And you got him for 2 more years at 5.3. And basically, you can't buy out the contract. Because if you buy out the contract, he's 5.375. The cap hit next year is 4.6. You can't even get a league average goalie on. It will cost you more to buy him out and bring in a guy at 750. And there's nobody who's really good at 750.
No.
So they're going to have to find a way.
Rookie.
Yeah, they're going to have to find a way to see if Jarry in the offseason can rediscover his game. Go away for 6 months, 4 months, whatever it is. And because we've seen lots of goalies do it.
Well, goaltending is
right. And that's their only hope.
He's as likely to do it as anybody. Right. I just, it was obviously, looking back on it, and I actually don't like the narrative in the market where all of a sudden everyone is just this huge fan of Stuart Skinner. Listen, everyone was done. Everyone ran him out of town.
I can show everybody thought I was way too
soft,
not blaming Skinner. And I was like, hey guys, Skinner can play better. 1,000 times I said that, but their defense better play better too. And Skinner, the one thing he always did was he would have a bad game or 2, maybe 3, but it was
that's a lot,
but it wasn't 10. Stuart Skinner always bounced back.
No, he wasn't,
and played better.
He wasn't a bad goalie, but listen, the team had lost trust in him.
Sure.
Right. They had been through enough big moments together. They had lost trust in him. He was I think a lot of goalies are like this, and maybe he rebounds, but I think Stuart Skinner proved that he just couldn't hack the market anymore. He couldn't. He was too in his own head. That was my thought anyway. I didn't mind them saying, okay, enough's enough. We're going to make a move. I don't compare Jarry to Skinner. They were done with Skinner. Skinner was done in this market. I don't think it was going to work. I think, why are you delaying this? I don't love the idea that they traded for a more expensive goalie, A, and then B. So, but now it's on Jarry. I'm stunned, right? Not that I thought that Jarry was going to come in here and be insane, but you make that move and then, oh my God, you hitched your wagon to the wrong horse, which is, thank God they have Ingram now. I mean, where would we be? And it's not like he's been lighting the world on fire. I'm just very surprised with Jarry. I don't mind them moving off of Skinner, but what a bad trade.
Oh yeah, it's not worked out.
Yeah.
Not at all so far. There's no question about that.
But yeah, listen, you can't, my only worry is like Ingram is still like, didn't play for a long time, and now he's kind of getting his footing. And now we're talking about, I mean, I would pencil him in for 17 of the next 18 games, which feels, when you want to play playoff hockey for 2 months, it feels like a big ask. But they have no other option at this point.
No. And the good news is you probably just sit down with them and say, Connor, here's the opportunity you've been waiting for. There you go.
And he's a UFA, right? Like it's a chance of a lifetime, really.
And again, though, if the team defense doesn't improve, it's not going to matter that much. Now, he probably won't let in 40 goals for you, but he's not going to, Connor Ingram is not a goalie that's going to steal games every night. He's just not. There's very few goalies who can steal games every night, just like there's very few players who can drive a line. And so if you're hoping that Ingram's going to steal you games, if he can steal you 1 out of every 15, that's pretty good, right? Like you look at steals, people, it's like, hey, you know what? The best goalies have like 5 or 6. So,
yeah,
right.
Oilers have never needed that. And like, to be honest, we romanticize, and rightly so, we romanticize game 6 of the 24 Western Conference final with Stuart Skinner, because the best game he's ever played. And he absolutely steals it for the Oilers on home ice as they advance to the Stanley Cup final.
Yeah.
Insane, right? What a moment. But like, those games are very few and far between. Oilers have never, in this last 5 years, right, this McDavid playoff LA Kings era, they've never really needed their goalies to do that.
No, well,
their goalies have had good games.
Yeah, Skinner stole him the game against Dallas, no question. That was game 6. That was monumental, because they lose game 6 at home, they probably lose the series in 7 on the road. He was unreal. They got outshot 34-10 and gave up 1 goal. He actually stole a game against LA.
They were up 2-0 early. To give the Oilers credit, it looked like they were going to run away with it, and then Dallas put their foot on the gas. But
in the game 6, against the Stars, they only had 10 shots on goal.
I know, but they were up 2-0 5 minutes in, right? They had the McDavid toe drag on Heiskanen, then Hyman puts it in, and it felt like they were off to the races. And then you're right, they barely had a chance the rest of the game. So it was a steal, but it was also like a hold on type of game, right?
Yeah, I didn't remember Edmonton being up 2-0.
Oh yeah, you remember the McDavid toe drag around Heiskanen on the power play back.
That was right in tight. Yeah.
Goal of the year. So that made it 1-0, and then Hyman made it 2-0, and it felt like that's it. They're going to the finals. And then 50 shots later, they went to the finals, but barely. It was 2-1, I want to say.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, well, he was great in that game, because Marchman scored, I think, but Skinner was the whole story. Like Edmonton, basically, I think they had like 5, 7, 6 shots in the last 40 minutes of the game.
Yes.
Right?
And that's what's great about playoffs, because if that was regular season, right, we'd be sitting here and all the text line, it's like, oh, they didn't deserve this. That in the playoffs, no one talks about deserve to win a meter. You win or you go home. That's it.
As it should be.
Yeah, as it should be.
100%. So
Andrew Walker, Jason Gregor, Donovan Paulson. Let's give you your River Cree proposition before we take a break, and Landon Ferraro on the other side. If you like navel gazing at old trades, how about this? So we all know Dylan Holloway goes to the St. Louis Blues. He's been good there. And I don't know if it was a direct replacement, but that was kind of the narrative that, we got rid of Holloway, but we gave up a 4th-round pick to bring in a 23-year-old Vasily Podkolzin, and he fills that role. I was skeptical. I think a lot of people were skeptical, but everyone obviously has come a long way on Vasily Podkolzin. So tonight in the River Cree Over-Under, let's put the 2 guys against each other. Who will have more points? Vasily Podkolzin for the Oilers or Dylan Holloway for the St. Louis Blues? If they end up tying tonight, we'll say everybody's eligible.
Well, goals, obviously, if one guy gets a goal and the other guy gets an assist, goals are always the tiebreaker.
Goals will be the tiebreaker. Mm-hmm. And if at the end of the day, if they end up even on everything, everybody is eligible. So you could be eligible. Tell us over for Podkolzin, under for Dylan Holloway. 1-833-401-1440 is the text line. That is the River Cree Over-Under. We could send you $100 to the River Cree Resort and Casino, where you can find Donovan Paulson hanging out most nights. Catch all your favorite sports, including UFC and boxing, live on the big screens at Tap 25 and in the Center Bar. Visit rivercreeresort.com. Okay, we'll take a break. On the other side, our game, the analyst for Ed's Auto Salvage, he is Landon Ferraro. And also, here's a little, what they call a tease in the business. I am not one to slag on guests on the Jason Gregor show, but there was a rough opinion today on the Greg show. I'll fill you in when we come back. Sports 1440.
Ooh, nice.
A claims program for harmed Canadians has begun as a result of a landmark tobacco settlement. If you smoked regularly before November 20th, 1998, and were diagnosed with lung cancer, throat cancer, emphysema, or COPD, you may qualify for a significant payment. To learn more, call 888-482-5852 or go to tobaccoclaimscanada.ca.
Touch base on the Weiss Johnson text line, 1-833-401-1440. Keep your home warmer and energy costs down with a Goodman furnace installed by the pros from Weiss Johnson. Visit weiss-johnson.com for your new Goodman furnace.
Pre-matchups are brought to you by Napa Auto Parts. For all your automotive needs, go to your trusted experts in high-quality parts, tools, equipment, and more. That's Napa know-how.
Oilers pregame is brought to you by Titan Supply. Built on trust, driven by safety. The Titan way. Visit titansupply.ca.
Touch base on the Weiss Johnson text line, 1-833-401-1440. Keep your home warmer and energy costs down with a Goodman furnace installed by the pros from Weiss Johnson. Visit weiss-johnson.com for your new Goodman furnace.
Oilers pregame is brought to you by Titan Supply. Built on trust, driven by safety. The Titan way. Visit titansupply.ca.
The Price is Right Live is at the Brick. Come on down to any Brick location for your chance to win over $300,000 in prizes. They're giving away shopping sprees, mattresses, appliance packages, big screen TVs, and so much more. Plus, this Saturday, play for up to $1,000 off your purchase. Everyone who makes a purchase is a winner. The price is always right at the Brick. The Brick, saving you more. Conditions apply. See in store for details.
Hey, Edmonton, did you know a local Play Alberta winner scored over $500,000 on Mega Jackpots Ocean Bells? Think about the season tickets you could lock down with that kind of cash. From major casino winners every hour to jackpots worth millions and hundreds of popular games to money that stays in the province, there's never been a better time to sign up for Play Alberta. Download the app today to get started with casino, sports, and lottery all in one app. Must be 18 plus to play. When you gamble, use your game sense.
NHL Star Sticks are back at McDonald's, and we're celebrating by going bigger.
Make that smaller, way smaller than ever before.
Collect the set and get one of 7 mini sticks with every NHL Star Sticks meal. Featuring McDavid, Matthews, Quinn Hughes, McCarr, Celebrini, Reinhardt, and Montembeault. So get yours while they last. 1 stick per meal purchase. Limited time at participating Canadian restaurants.
You got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need, Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939, we're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
Ah, yes, Alberta in March. Green beer and slushy roads. Where the only thing worse than the roads is trusting them. If your brakes are squealing louder than a pub on game night, or your shocks feel like they found potholes instead of a pot of gold, it's time to go to Napa Auto Parts. With over 85 locations in Alberta, Napa has the quality parts, tools, equipment, and know-how to keep your ride smooth and feeling confident, more than lucky. Visit your local store today or visit online at napacanada.com. That's Napa Know-How.
Portion of this hour brought to you by Sherbrooke Liquor, the best place for wine, cocktails, and beers from all over the world. Also, a variety of excellent non-alcoholic options. See more at SherbrookeLiquor.com.
It's the pregame show with Andrew Walker on Edmonton's only 24/7 sports station, Sports 1440.
Welcome back. The Edmonton Oilers, the St. Louis Blues. Big time swing game for the Oilers tonight. You win, you go 3-1 on this road trip. No one even cares about the Dallas game. You lose, you go 2-2. we probably would have taken it, but still would be disappointing after an 0-2 start or a 2-0 start. And don't forget, listen, the Blues have been playing some great hockey, but they're trying to tank right now. Like, they're trading away guys. There's no Falk. There's no Shen. They're playing young guys. This is a real good opportunity for the Edmonton Oilers. You know they're going to be hungry after that debacle last night in Dallas. The Titan Supply pregame show continues. Your only source for rigging, lifting, and hauling products. Visit titansupply.ca. It is the Jason Gregor show as we impede on his style for the last hour. We hyped up Donnie a little too much. That read was a little stumbly, not quite as good. But it happens. You know, it happens. You're on top of the world, and only one way to go, Donnie. The lines for Nisku Ford, we will get them to you. There's no Ryan Nugent-Hopkins tonight dealing with a personal matter. Max Jones is up. So all signs point to Matthew Savoy playing on that first line. That seems like the obvious choice, but we will get you an update when they are on the ice for warm-up, which should be right away. Landon Ferraro is our game day analyst, as he's brought to you by Ed's Auto Salvage in Westlock, the used parts experts. Province-wide shipping, daily delivery to Edmonton. Visit edsautosalvage.com. So your boy, your former teammate, Landon, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, is not in tonight. Is the obvious choice to move up to that first line Matthew Savoy? We were kind of racking our brains here trying to find a different option. I don't think we came up with one. How about you?
I did not. Or I say I did not. I didn't exactly hear, but I imagine what Greg's put up on his Twitter is what you guys are talking about.
I don't know. I don't have Twitter.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, I have Savoy with Hyman and Nugent Hopkins. Sorry, with Hyman McDavid, and then
I love how you guess, and then all the people out there go with that, though.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, no, as you said, is that what we're discussing? I said this is what I would do.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I know, but Daily Faceoff runs with that.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, according to Jason Gregor, it's like, well, he's guessing. That's an educated opinion.
Yes.
Hey, I take his guess over our guess walks.
Oh, true. I had Stastny on the first line, so I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that tracks.
Yeah.
But no, honestly, looking at that lineup with Nugent Hopkins out, that to me is how you get the most out of it. And not only that, but I want to see Savoy up in that spot since he's found his kind of newfound confidence. The points have started to come, where he was doing everything right earlier and the last part wasn't clicking yet. I want to see what he looks like up with McDavid and Hyman.
Earlier in the year, I would say, someone would go down or they'd want to mix things up. And so there was these promotions or relegations, if you will, and none of it was earned. It was just we're trying to find something that fits. In this case, Matty Savoy, it's man, you have been killing it for about 8 games now. It is an obvious promotion.
Interesting. So here are the lines courtesy of Jack Michaels.
Savoy's
with McDavid.
Oh, yes. Okay, yeah. There you go.
But
yeah.
After that, it's changed. Drysaddle's with Podkolzin and Kapanen, which Walks had said. Dickinson's still the center with Roslovic and Szymanski, and then Frederick with Henrique and Jones.
I am married to the notion that Roslovic needs to be with Draisaitl or McDavid. I'm married to that.
Yeah. I think Roslovic's because I wrote about it the other day. About Jack Roslovic, because people are like, oh, the Oilers got to sign him. I'm like, why? No, you don't. Don't sign him because this is 2 years in a row. He started great, and then his production tailed off in the second half of the season, and then didn't do much in the playoffs. Jack Roslovic's good player, but you're not signing.
I like him a lot.
I like him, but I got to see him in the big moments to see what he can do. What about you, Walk? Or sorry, not Walks, Landon.
I'll just sit and listen to Walks. That's good for me too.
I'm glad you said that, Landon, because I'd like to. No, go ahead.
First off with Roslovic and Draisaitl, it's one of those where, okay, the goal, what was it, 2 games ago did Roslovic have the play out of the corner?
In Colorado, yeah,
right. At the end of the day, you need someone that has hands that can finish like Roslovic did.
Yes.
Right? You can't let those plays continually go to waste. He's shown that he can do that. But Greg's like, you're totally right. And I remember talking about this when Edmonton first signed Roslovic. Like, that's a really good player that has shown that he can score. But just like you were highlighting, he also has some points where, it dries off, especially come playoff time. Like, when it gets a little tougher, that's been a bit of the knack. Like, you don't have a guy that, can skate and's got hands, puts up 22 goals, and no one signs him, right? Like, there is a reason for it. So, like, this is a big opportunity for him to show that he can do this at the tough times. But, I'm with you guys. There's no reason to sign him until well into a playoff run that he's shown that he can do it at the earliest.
Well, there was that little span, and it got through the news cycle. I can't even remember who reported it, but there was this rumor that the Oilers are looking at a 4x4 for Jack Roslovic, and it just seemed like such a vintage Oilers move to do. Because I got no problem with Roslovic. I like him. Ton of skill, like that play, and this is again why he needs to play with the Draisaitl. There's not very many guys that pull that puck out of the corner and find the man in front like Leon. But there's not a lot of guys that finish like Roslovic did there.
It's fair.
Right? Like they should be married to each other. But you cannot, with this team in the window they are, with the salary cap how it is, and cup or bust every year, this year and at least the next two, you can't give 4x4 to someone that it can't play in the playoffs. And history doesn't matter. I get that. But the Oilers have to identify the player themselves. Like, that's it. And listen, if you go a few rounds deep and Roslovic is unplayable, and I would hope he's not, you just cannot commit to him before then. You can't.
No.
There's no chance.
Like, to me, committing to him early is exactly what they did with Wallman, what they did with Frederick, and what are the discussions around both of those players right now? Right? Like, Wallman will figure it out. I believe that, and he'll get moving again. And I've really been kind of pleased with Frederick coming out of the break. I really liked him with Doc and Szymanski. It was tough to see Doc get hurt the other night, because I felt like he really started to pull out some more grind, like some more grit, some more push from Frederick, and I like that. But you don't, like, there's no reason to give out long contracts to guys that you have just got to your team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. And with Roslovic, it's, wait and see how he performs then. But also, just like you kind of highlighted their walks, like, you got to get to know the person, and anyone can perform and be at their best and have a smile on for the first few months somewhere. And I'm not saying this is Roslovic's issue, just talking in general, but like, you need to spend time, you need to go through a playoff run and really see what someone's made of before you hand out something like a contract like that, especially in Edmonton's situation where they want and need to win, but they also have some, two of the best players that, do draw some players to get there. It's just about getting around the cap, but that's going up. So there's no reason to saddle yourself to Roslovic right now until really he demands you to give him a contract with his play.
Correct. And a guy like Roslovic, listen, it's about desperation and leverage too. Like, Jack Roslovic should really want to re-sign here, right? You get the chance to play with McDavid or Draisaitl. There's no need to go, fumbling like you're courting a significant other, right? Like they have time, they can use it. And about knowing the player, so Donovan Paulson, who is a little touched, but otherwise has some really good opinions, he came up with this comparable last night. I thought it was really smart. Jason Dickinson, right? Good player. We like him. He was good in Chicago. He's developed into this really good checking center. Vancouver had him and paid a second round pick for this to get out from under him to go to Chicago. Why? Because they didn't understand the player. They didn't have him in the right role. They didn't know what he was. That is very important.
Well, it's funny. They got rid of Dickinson and Mikheyev, two of the best penalty killing forwards in the NHL. right? Like that's how we're. And look, they gave up Podkolzin for a 4th rounder, right? Like, look at those 3 moves.
Fold the team, man. I'm telling you.
Look at those 3 moves, and just think of what their depth would be.
I will sit on this one with Podkolzin, though, and I'm curious to hear your take on it, because like what he's done over the past calendar year has been phenomenal, right? Like just completely transformed the player that he is. And you got to give him like 98% of the credit. But like, I really do feel that without Draisaitl, I don't know if this part of Podkolzin gets unlocked. Like a star of that magnitude, taking a liking to him, spending extra time working with him, clearly demanding that he's on his line, because, I mean, I sat there for the majority of last year, especially early, saying, like, you can't have Podkolzin as Draisaitl's line mate. But Draisaitl saw something there and worked with him. It's a really kind of cool story, but study as well as of a guy believing in another younger player and working with him because he knows that he can help his game.
Yeah, you know what's interesting, though? I talked to Leon about it. And Podkolzin, what he adhered himself to was his work ethic, but how hard he works in practice, right? And I talked to Podkolzin, the big thing in Vancouver was Tocchet didn't like Podkolzin. I don't know why. And Podkolzin hated Tocchet.
He seems like a Tocchet player.
Right. Well, that's the thing. That's what I don't understand.
He might just not like Russians.
Yeah, like who knows? But there was a real, because there was a conversation about, there was a time when someone had asked him, like, hey, what would you do if Rick Tocchet became the coach? Or, well, I'd ask for a trade instantly. Like, he literally can't stand him. And I don't know, you have to dig into that. You're in Vancouver. I'd be curious to know what happened there, because on the surface, Podkolzin looks exactly like a player. His work ethic's off the charts. And I'm like, you'd think Tocchet would like him.
You'd think, and, Rick has obviously, had much success. He was a coach of the year and obviously had an unbelievable career. And it's not just him. This happens to every coach, but I feel like especially here in the last few years, Tocchet was definitely a guy that he had his guys and he had his ones that he wasn't very fond of. And there was just not much you could do to change that. Podkolzin wasn't the only one all the way through that tenure. And I think for him, because of his size and his skill set, like he wanted to see more physicality. He wanted to see more net drives and all of this. And that's fine. But to me, like he was expecting the finished product, and Draisaitl and the Oilers got the player and worked with him to get to, which I don't even think is the finished product yet, but getting much closer to it with Podkolzin and just giving him that time and confidence, not having to fight for fourth line minutes. You get here and you just keep working, and all of a sudden you're on, the first, second line, whatever you want to call it. And you have a player that's that good telling you that you can do this and I want you on my line. Like that blows your confidence through the roof. Like that just wasn't done here in Vancouver.
Yeah, and you also got to remember, Podkolzin was a first-round pick, 10th overall of a previous regime in Jim Benning. They obviously saw something in him that they really liked, and then you make a change at the top. And if the new regime, like he doesn't get credit for being drafted 10th overall, politics plays in. If anything, they might look at that guy as a little bit of he's a remnant of the last era, and maybe we can move on.
I've always, because you see moves from organizations
all the time,
and it happens all the time. And are we in the wildlife here? Right? Like, think about it. Like, lions come into a new herd and they're like, oh, Jesus, there's somebody from the previous. Now I'm going to kill him.
Eat him.
Right? Like, I'm eat him. And it's seriously, at times you see that in real life. And I'm kind of like, what the hell is going on? Like, if you have a good player, who cares who drafts him? But it's like, well, it's not on me if we trade this guy and he pans out somewhere else. I'm like, well, yeah, it is. You traded him.
Well, look at the Kevin Adams discourse in Buffalo right now, right?
Oh, yeah, he made some good moves for sure.
Yeah, wow, and they fired him right before time, right? But, good for Kevin. Listen, Kevin Adams is going to get another job because of the way that his team is playing now. And he's not there for it. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think he's getting a lot of credit. What's the funny people like he could win Executive of the Year, even though he's
that is
in the soup kitchen line.
Like there was someone said, what if Buffalo wins the Stanley Cup? Should his name be on the cup?
He built the team.
Yeah.
It's not like they've done anything else other than they tried to get Parayko, but that didn't work out.
They got the
Stanley
two guys.
deal.
Yeah, they got Logan Stanley and Pearson.
But even then, I didn't love that deal for them. I thought that was a little. We didn't get Parayko. We got to do something.
I like that deal. I think Stanley's adds a lot to them.
Yeah, I think it was a solid one too. But it is funny. Like to me, it's kind of like when you do hire a new GM and there's the coach there, and they decide to keep them. Like, for the most part, that's not because that GM thinks that's the best coach for the job.
He saves his
just
bullets.
wants to get moving on the roster and doesn't want to burn one of his coaching moves, right? Like, there's so many things, and a new coach coming in and pushing a player out that he doesn't like, whatever it is. Like, there's so many things of just posturing to try and show that we're the new ones and we know what we're doing. Yet you give up so many good assets. Like, there's just no reason for it. And to me, that just kind of shows that you don't have the right idea moving forward. Like, don't take away the other person's good work ahead of you. Build off of it and change the parts that need to be changed. You don't have to start at scratch.
Landon Farrar joins us for Ed's Auto Salvage. One more before we let you go, Landon, heading into Oilers and Blues tonight. There's this idea that the Oilers always start poorly. That's not necessarily true. They started very good in Vegas, but they give up a goal in the first shift in Colorado, and then again last night in Dallas before you even had your popcorn, they were down 1-0. When it comes to starting a game and the cliche is it's bad coaching, they're not ready to play, you're not ready to play, blah blah blah. How do you view that as a team? This is a big game. How do you start the game on time?
I would say that if it's an issue of, it happening all the time, then, at a certain point, like, you can't put that on the coach. Like, these are professionals, and, like, you got to make sure yourself that you're ready. And, sometimes, especially when it's a team like Edmonton, that this has been, a thing for a while, like, it starts to get in your head. And you start overthinking. Like, it's just about breaking everything down. And, I hate doing it because it's just going back to cliches, but it's breaking down not even the first 5 minutes, but like, everyone win your first shift. Like, pretend it's the last minute of the game and go out and, like, it's desperation in a sense. Like, get your emotions up right away. And to be honest, like, when I was in those situations, I'd almost want to make sure that I either got a really good hit and kind of pissed someone off, or got into a little pushing match, like, in a sense of, like, grab a guy from the other side and make him not very happy at you, and you've got to now be ready for the rest of the game. Like, you got to play games with yourself, because just saying, I'm really focused and I'm ready can only go so far, and it clearly hasn't worked for a lot of it. So it's about breaking it down, not trying to think of the whole game. Just win every next shift that you have at the start.
He is Landon Farrar, a former NHLer, spent time with the Bruins, the Red Wings, the Minnesota Wild. He joins us every pregame and postgame show for Ed's Auto Salvage. Thanks, Landon. We'll talk to you in a few hours.
Yep, sounds good, guys.
All right, Ed's Auto Salvage in Westlock. The used parts experts, province-wide shipping and daily delivery at Edmonton. Visit edsautosalvage.com. When we come back, we'll run through a few things. We'll hear briefly from Chris Knobloch, the head coach. We got the hairline injury report. We will reset the new look lines for Nisku Ford and Donovan Paulson with the Napa Auto Parts matchups. When we come back, Sports 1440.
Oilers pregame is brought to you by Titan Supply. Built on trust, driven by safety. The Titan way. Visit Titan Supply.